I got the microphone working. I think we're all good. Hello, hello, everybody. And welcome back to Paleontologizing. It is really good to see all of you. Can you hear me right now? Can you still hear the music? How are the volume levels? I hope everything's good. I'm trying to make the most of some unusual circumstances here. But, yeah, music's a bit loud. Let me turn that down then. Let's see here. Whoop. Let's try that. Hello, hello, everybody. As you can probably tell, I am streaming to you from a hotel room right now in the great state of Idaho. My mobile live streaming rig is still not working. They have to send me some new modems for it because apparently they expired or went stale or something. Kind of unclear on that, but anyway, yeah, for the time being, we are, you know, when life gives you gators, you make Gatorade, and that's what we're trying to do here. Rather than doing a stream from a museum today with the mobile live streaming rig, which I can't do, doing a stream from my hotel room. And I just saw the new movie Jurassic World Dominion. People have been begging me to see this and to talk about it, and I took the opportunity to do so today. I went and saw it at the theater, just got back, and haven't really had time to think about it, but we're going to discuss it today. But before we do that, let me say hello to everybody, and yeah, let's see here. Hugan9129, hello, hello, welcome back, Hugan, it's great to see you. Desmodus, great to see you too, thank you for joining us once again. Birds are dead on, says birds. Indeed, birds. Scient Streams, how are you doing, Balint? And maybe Lita too, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. And this is kind of unusual, doing a Saturday stream here. I don't normally do that. So yeah. I agree with that. Who was that? Hang on a second. Portugas, thank you for the 3 months of support. I really appreciate it. And who is this? Embus watches you. Thank you. Oh, wait, hang on.
Embus watches you, gifted Embus watches you a subscription.
Embus, did you just gift a subscription to yourself? I don't even know how that works, but thank you for your support. I appreciate it, Embus. It's great to see you here. Who else we got here? Isabella didn't worry. How are you doing? Isabel didn't worry. Thank you for being here, and welcome to Paleontologizing. Texas Cryptid says Saturday stream indeed. Pretty out of the ordinary, but that's how things go on a big nationwide road trip. Fall Machine, or no, Portugas, thank you for gifting Fall Machine. I really appreciate that. That is lovely. Thank you, Portugas. You know I appreciate that. That's wonderful. And let's see, Pocket Theremin, how are you doing? Great to see you. Burntwood, what's shaking? Welcome, welcome. Pocket Theremin says, I've been waiting for Danny to talk about the new Jurassic World, Pocket Theremin. Yeah. And Arcraft, thank you for gifting Arcraft a subscription. What's going on with these notifications today? It's a little strange. Yeah. Pocket Theremin says this should be pretty savage. We'll see. Thank you. Who just gifted some subs there? I appreciate ya. Embus watches you. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. You know how much I appreciate that. Thank you, Embus. Holy cow. And Lara Craft Zero, how are you doing? Welcome.
In the time
And
of the dinosaur, this was a subtropical delta, home of the big plant eaters
Burntwood,
and of the monsters who chased them.
thank you for the 6 months of support, Burntwood. Really appreciate that. Wonderful to have you here. That is fantastic. Caravan, how are you doing? Great to see you. We've got a hype train going, by the way. Shoot. If we manage to get to a level 5, I'll have to play you some ukulele songs. We'll see if we can get there.
Sincere appreciation and gratitude.
Mommy
Thank
does.
you very much for the 100 bits.
Thank you for those bits. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. X of Kirsten, how are you doing? Great to see you. I'm glad you could make it today. And Diagonal, thank you for the 16 months of subscribing there on the Diagonal. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Diagonal. And great to see you. Hope things are good. Centrifuge Destroyer, welcome. I'm glad you got gifted a sub, Centrifuge. That's lovely. Welcome back to Paleontologizing. Yeah. And uh-oh, hang on a second. What's this right here? Fantastic.
Embus watches, you just changed things with those 5 gift subs.
Thank you, Embus. You know I appreciate
can
that.
Make a
Holy cow.
wonderful difference in promoting the appreciation and understanding of fossil science here on Twitch.
Thank you, Portugasque, for those 1,000 bits. Holy cow, Portugasque, that is lovely. And Patrick Pirate, thank you.
Patchwork Pirate gifted Tutting in third a subscription.
Thank you,
Patchwork
Patch.
Pirate
Really
gifted
appreciate
a
that.
one sub to that engine
I hope you're
third.
doing well.
They have given 29 gift subs.
It's great
in
to
the
have you here,
channel.
Patch. Thank you for your generosity. Holy cow, yeah. All right, trying to make my way down through chat. Hopefully closed captions are working right now. Beth Kinda Sorta, good to see you. Mike B3D, what's shaking? Good to see you too. Daikaiju says, like a movie science edition episode of the show, eh, Danny? I guess so, Daikaiju, sure. Yeah, we do these every once in a while. Mighty Draz, welcome. Good to see you, Mighty Draz. And Tarquin, good afternoon to you too. It's good to have you here. Yeah. And let's see. Retro Roadshow, welcome. Good to have you here too. Hopefully my volume levels are okay right now. Blinks, how are you doing? What's the plan today? We're gonna be, I don't know, just having kind of a chill conversation stream, answering questions, talking about the new Jurassic World film and its depiction of dinosaurs and other critters. Yeah. Are we fleeing the country? I'm not, Retro Roadshow. And Embus says, I could hear the eye rolls.
1,000 bits can make a
Yeah.
wonderful difference in promoting the appreciation and understanding
Holy cow,
of fossil
Portugasque.
science here on Twitch.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, Portugasque. That is wonderful. 1,000 bits. Spectacular. Thank you very much, Portugasque. And RBRO, how are you doing? Good to have you here too. Alright. Mr. Fossil, how are you doing? Working on, doing some woodwork. Cool, Mr. Fossil. Hope you're having fun with that. Nice. And Mr. Burlingoat, how are you doing? Hello to you too. Welcome. Alright, trying to catch up to chat. Thank you again, Embus, for those 5 gift subs. You know I appreciate that. And yeah, shoe bills can look very stern, Tarquin. Alright, trying to catch up to chat. Embus, another 5 gift subs. Holy cow, thank you for that. Yeah. And Hugin says, how bad was their Dimetrodon design? It seemed to be bad enough that they didn't even want to show it in broad daylight. It only, we'll talk about it. But they obscured it. I think they were embarrassed at their Dimetrodon design. I think, honestly, they were embarrassed by a lot of their dinosaur designs. They just did not want to show them in broad daylight. Rainbow, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah. And Smorphosaurus. The Giganotosaurus in the film is oof. I agree, Smorphosaurus. I agree. Oh, boy. And Tarquin, they didn't call it a dinosaur? They kind of did, Tarquin. They kind of did. We'll talk about that, too, a little bit. So, yeah. And Beth kind of sort of says, but some had feathers? Yeah, some of them did. That's true. And thank you. Portugasque, thank you very much for that gift sub. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Portugasque. Wonderful. Yeah. And, hey, Sothi Saint going well. How are you doing? Welcome, Sothi. Yeah. Fabricio says, good night from Italia. Well, good afternoon from Idaho, United States. Fabricio, you sleep well. Thank you for saying hello. You have a great evening, and I hope to catch you next time. Or maybe you're saying good evening. Maybe you're not saying goodbye. Maybe you're saying hello. In which case, Fabricio, hello. And it's good to have you here. I don't know if you're coming or going, but either way, thanks for chiming in. Yeah. And X of Kirsten says, I don't remember them explicitly calling it a dinosaur, the Dimetrodon. Well, they talked about, like, oh, are there dinosaurs in the amber mine? It's like, well, shoot. The only one there was, I don't know, it was a Dimetrodon, so, I don't know. Smorphosaurus says, I did enjoy the new Jurassic World more than the new Doctor Strangelove. There's a new Doctor Strangelove? Oh, they remade Doctor Strangelove? How could they do that? Oh, I misread that. What's Doctor Strange? I don't know what Doctor Strange is. Sorry. Yeah. And it looks like they had to keep the Dimetrodon because they already made the toys. Is that right, Diagonal? Why are my notifications getting stuck like that? My alerts. But thank you, Charlie Mango, for the follow, and welcome to Paleontologizing. Good to have you here. Yeah. Doctor Strange is Marvel. Really, Patrick Pirate. Interesting. Cool. And Christie's Artnook says, even though the dinosaurs look funky, props to them for putting their own twist. Well, kind of. I don't know. We'll be talking about that. One thing that I was keenly aware of is that Jurassic World Dominion and Prehistoric Planet both featured a lot of the same dinosaurs. And there were very interesting twists on some of them in Prehistoric Planet. They made the dinosaurs in Jurassic World Dominion just look positively just tame and boring and unimaginative by comparison. I don't know. I realized that with big movie franchises like this, they're averse to things like taking risks or, you know, creative integrity or creativity. I think they think that kind of thing just doesn't sell. So yeah, I don't know. They don't make them like they used to. And X of Kirsten says they cannot remake Doctor Strangelove. That would be a crime. Agreed, Kirsten. Agreed. Yeah. But yeah. Don't give Hollywood ideas, guys. Movies are all licensed content now. I know, right, Beth? Fred unslaughtered? Pocket Theremin, oh no. Goodness. Yeah. Jody Fish says, didn't realize you would be on here today. Yeah, Jody Fish. I did have a couple tweets and stuff about it. I should have said something in the Discord, but I didn't. But I'm here, and you're here. Welcome back, Jody Fish. It's good to have you here. Yeah. Caravan. My T-Rex, I can walk. Oh, no. And Mr. Fossil says it would be cool to set up sound effects with channel points. I mean, we already have that. Not with channel points, though. But yeah. And Patrick Pirate says, yes, you should have, sir. Yeah, you don't have to call me sir, Patch. Oh, cow. But yeah, shoot, I don't know. Well, everybody, let me clue you in on what's been going on lately. Yesterday, I was planning on doing a museum live stream with Dr. L.J. Krumanacker, and that didn't end up working out because my equipment failed to work. The modems, which I activated a few days ago, you know, right on schedule, they didn't connect to the network. So I got in contact with technical support for that, and they tell me, oh, all of your modems expired. Apparently they only last a few months to a year, something like that. They didn't tell me this. They said they sent me an email. I don't think I got it. So anyway, I'm waiting on them to ship me some new modems so that I can actually use the mobile live stream encoder, which is in here. This is the very complicated setup that I need to stream remotely. This is the encoder device right here, and here are the wireless modems right there. And they apparently are garbage now. They don't work. They're no good. it's like a planned obsolescence, not planned obsolescence, it's an enforced obsolescence kind of thing, apparently. Seems very wasteful. But, so I'm waiting on them to ship me some more of those, hopefully to where I can get them, because all of the museum live streams this summer kind of hinge upon that. So I'm kind of at the mercy of a corporation right now. Oh, heaven help us. And wait, how does hardware expire? Jody Fish, they make it expire. They like, yeah, it's enforced obsolescence. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Is that the same company that supplied mission? I'm not sure what you mean. Engine. Wait, what? That's a reference. It sailed over my head. Yeah, and that's Live View, Patrick Pirate, which, you know, yeah. Yeah. Manufactured by the Terrell Corporate. Yes, they've been retired. Caravan, yes. In Texas Cryptid, there are no other options. That's the thing. They're the only game in town. So yeah, this is why this is why antitrust is the thing that we desperately need in larger industries. But yeah. Surprised they didn't self-destruct. Oh, there you go, Engineer. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, Engineered. I get the reference now. Thank you. But yeah. Anyway, everybody, we're making the most of the situation here. Like I said, when life gives you gators, you make Gatorade, and that's what we're doing here. So anywho, first off, oh, and Claire says, please show off that shirt for us. Oh, sure, Claire. It's one of my really old ones. I used to sell these when I lived in Montana, in the Museum of the Rockies gift shop. So this is an old shirt. This shirt's probably like 6 or 7 years old. But yeah. Somewhere Teddy Roosevelt is rolling in his grave. Yeah, he's probably doing about 180 RPM there, Tarquin. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. This is one of those first ones when I used to have another company print them for me, and as a result, it's not actually, the shirt quality is great. The fabric itself is great, but the design is not as true to life as I would have liked. They kind of like over flooded their screen, so we lost some of the detail. But after, you know, I learned how to do screen printing myself, I started printing these myself, and the image was a lot crisper, and you know, it actually, you know, captured what I was trying to do with that Tyrannosaurus silhouette and the Montana silhouette right there too. So yeah. And then some other people decided that they were going to try and copy this design, and now there's like a bunch of bootleg ones floating around the state. Plagiarism is rampant in the t-shirt industry. If you didn't know that, it is shady. So yeah, and Fabricio says, "Oh, it's so cool." Thank you, Fabricio. I appreciate that. Yeah. And Jody Fish says, "I was glad to get on the talk with LJ on the VOD. You guys were over before I got back home." Oh, Jody Fish, yeah. I'm glad you were able to catch the VOD at least. That was a ton of fun, and again, huge shout out to LJ for let's see. There we go. For being so flexible and letting me do a live stream from his home. So again, if you want to support some paleontological research and fieldwork, click that link and see if you can throw a few dollars LJ's way. He would really appreciate that. It would go a long way. And he's got so many cool things that he's working on, but he's just bedeviled by a lack of funding right now. So any little bit that you can provide to him, I know he would really appreciate. And shoot, you'd be directly funding dinosaur science, you know? For crying out loud, he's got a nodosaur. It's a really cool armored dinosaur. It's going to be a new species from Idaho. The biggest dinosaur yet from the state of Idaho. He already has the specimen. He just needs to get the thing prepped. And so yeah, your donations would help out with that. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. I appreciate you. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Yeah. And Tarquin, there you go. Yeah. Use Teddy Roosevelt to power the country. Green power. There you go, Mommy does. Yeah. And Hugin says, I'd rock a shirt like that if it were Texas and Acrocanthosaurus. Yeah, Hugin, that'd be cool. Be really cool. And David Peterson, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Great to have you here. I hope all is well. BootlegDinosaurTees.com. Yeah, I know, right? Sort of thing is rampant. And that was you, Jen. Thank you for the follow, and welcome to Paleontologizing. It's great to have you here. Yeah. So yeah. Anywho, everyone. Let's see if I can get this queued up. I just got back from watching Jurassic World Jurassic World Domination, whatever it was called. Let's find the trailer. Jurassic World Dominion trailer. Yeah. Let's, we'll use this as a way to talk about it here. Let's see. Try that. And come on now. Hang on a second here. I think I have to readjust this. Chrome is a little squirrely with this kind of thing most of the time. Chrome. Properties. There we go. That should do it. Okay. Let's pause this. And, oh, let me get my phone out so that I can actually monitor chat while we're doing this. And let's begin. I mean, we're, what, a few seconds in and already have something to say. Shoot. Yeah. Parasaurolophus? Yes, Smorphosaurus. I didn't see the movie leading up to this, so I might be a little bit in the dark, but the thing is, they had kind of a big, obnoxious, like, recap at the beginning, where it's like, previously in Jurassic World, and they had, like, this whole montage explaining, like, oh, this is what the world is like now. There's, you know, non-avian dinosaurs that have been brought back to life all over planet Earth for some reason. They're on, like, all 6 continents, except for Antarctica, you know, all 6 inhabited continents. First of all, I don't know how that happened in the first place. I mean, shoot, how did dinosaurs get off of 2 different islands and spread across the entire globe? I don't know. How do they cross oceans? This isn't Pangea anymore. But also just... Yeah.
The ponderous Trecodon.
Hang on a minute. Who's that?
Long and 14 feet high. 1,500 teeth.
Minerva, thank you. Is it Minerva or Minerva? It's like Minerva. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to Paleontologizing. But yeah, and I saw the first Jurassic World movie. I tried to watch the second one, Falling Kingdom. I had to turn it off like 5 minutes in. It was maybe I should have watched it before this, but I don't know. I'm an intelligent guy. I can pick up on context clues and kind of figure things out. But the whole point, like, even if dinosaurs were brought to North America or something like that, like I think they were supposed to have been in there was some kind of crazy live dinosaur auction or something. If they're in North America, how do they get to South America? How do they get to Europe and Asia and Australia? How does that even work? I don't know. That whole thing was a little... They didn't dwell on it at all. Would have been nice to have had a little bit of an explanation, I suppose. But yeah, they got put on a boat again. Is that right, Patrick Pirate? They drifted on sea debris, says Desmodus. Is it... You're right. Did they raft there, or was it a land bridge? You know, the eternal biogeography question, you know? But yeah. Hang glider, says David Peterson. Cars, taxis, mopeds, bullet train. There you go. Man, there was a trailer for a movie called Bullet Train. It looked terrible. Anyway, so many trailers, by the way. I sound like an old man right now. But yeah, it's neither here nor there. Yeah, they paddled on icebergs, says Desmodus. Apparently. I don't know. But what I found frustrating about this is at the beginning, there's just dinosaurs everywhere. Non-avian dinosaurs have kind of taken over. They're all over the place. There's like... Yeah, there's all these different clips, and it seems comical. It seems ridiculous. It kind of takes dinosaurs, which in the Jurassic Park series are supposed to be... I don't know, they've got a certain mystique and wonder to them. And Jurassic World is just like, yep, they're everywhere now. You know, they're basically pests and invasive species, and like they just cause headaches for people. These films take dinosaurs for granted. The Jurassic World series, it's like the filmmakers are not enamored with dinosaurs. It's like, oh yeah, you know, we know we can make a lot of money with these things, and so we're just going to do that. We're not actually going to, I don't know, give the audience any moments of pure wonder marveling at these animals. It just doesn't have that same soul that the first Jurassic Park had, or even the Lost World of Jurassic Park 3 had sporadic moments of wonder and awe. This doesn't really seem to have that. It kind of takes dinosaurs for granted, and I think the assumption is like, oh yeah, audiences are not impressed by dinosaurs anymore. People don't really care about dinosaurs. We have to throw in this whole subplot about locusts and bioengineering and all this other stuff, and I found that really frustrating. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. But yeah. Here, let me catch up to chat and let's get our music back going again. And let's go there. So let's see here. Velociraptor. I like that, Trek Nerd. How you doing, Trek Nerd? Welcome, welcome. They built a raft with a Wilson soccer ball. There you go, DNH. Not even any good trailers. I know, right, Kirsten? Yeah. I mean, that one, the Jordan Peele movie looked interesting. We'll see if it's any good. But nothing else really caught my attention at all. David Peterson says, my friend wrote and illustrated a great book about dinosaurs in New York City. Or a dinosaur in New York City who rides the subway and no one notices because New Yorkers are so in their own heads.
Did you ever, though, have
David
a
Peterson.
where it was kind of heartbreaking on the story?
No, what glue is cheap.
Glue is cheap, but thank you for helping me afford it, Daikaiju. Appreciate that. Thank you, Daikaiju, for the 2 months. Lovely. Thank you. And Bolivar by Sean Rubin. That sounds really interesting, David Peterson. I'm working, well, when I get back to my office and have some time, I'm going to be working on and hopefully soon finishing this really cool Velociraptor puppet. And the idea is I'll be able to take that on the bus or on the train back in the Bay Area and just have people react to it and talk to them about feathered dinosaurs. So we'll see. We'll see if people in Oakland or San Francisco are as in their own heads as subway riders in NYC. But that's a neat premise there, David Peterson. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. And Jody Fish. Exactly. Yeah. There wasn't really anything like that. And Tarquin says, so it moved more in a monster movie direction? Kind of. I mean, honestly, it reminded me more of like a comic book movie or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. And I know those movies have a lot of devotees. There's a lot of people who love comic book movies. They're not my cup of tea, you know? This is like, I don't know, the Marvelization of cinema is not something that I'm stoked about, honestly. To each their own. If you love that kind of thing, great, you know? That stuff is for you, you know? You should be glad that people are, I don't know, movie studios are trying to cater to your interests. Me, no. But anyway, yeah. And Smorphosaurus says it's because movies keep doing the dinosaurs inaccurately. I think you're right. I do think that people would be much more impressed with more accurate dinosaurs, and we've got a little bit of proof of concept there, I think, in this film. The Therizinosaurus kind of stole the show at a certain point. 2 points, actually. And the movie handled it kind of weirdly, but it was still cool to have a feathered Therizinosaurus, which was also featured in Prehistoric Planets. We'll be talking about that, and we'll be comparing the two later on in this broadcast. So yeah. And you're leaving to see the movie in less than an hour? Cool, Lenina. Well, shoot. Best of luck. Don't expect much, and maybe you won't be disappointed. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. And Beth kind of sort of says, well, if sales mean anything, I'm near a place that sells a certain kind of themed merchandise. Dinosaurs are doing just fine if stock means... Yeah, there you go, Beth. I mean, I think dinosaurs handled well will be perennially popular. And Jurassic World Dominion kind of makes overtures in that direction. They have some dinosaurs with feathers. They have tried to introduce some new kinds of dinosaur. They had that little, Tyrannosauroid or Carcharodontosaur? What is Moros? I forget. I think it's a Carcharodontosaur. So yeah, that was neat. But yeah. No one wants the llama things except... Interesting, Beth. I thought you said llamas got out like they escaped. And hey, Spaceman Dan, welcome, welcome. I'm streaming to you from a hotel in Idaho right now. I'm not in my office, so that's why things look so different at the moment. Yeah. And Lenina, oh right, Lenina, I think I saw you posted that to Twitter. Your niece asked you to go with her, and you're being a good aunt, Lenina. Being a good aunt. I hope you have a good time. Yeah. And do they make every theropod a big beaky, big clawed, everything? Oh yeah, Jody Fish. It is very ambiguous what the dietary predilections of Therizinosaurus is supposed to be in that movie. No, I don't know. There will be spoilers later on in this broadcast, so there you go. I won't talk about this right this instant, but the movie seemed pretty confused about what its Therizinosaurus, what its motivations were, I suppose. You know? Yeah. And you do every year. Oh, cool, Patrick Pirate. Wait, do what? I missed something. Oh, dragon. Okay, yeah. And there must be vegetarian tickled chickens. Yeah, Jody Fish. Let's talk about that. Here comes some spoilers. Or wait, no, shoot, we haven't even gotten through the trailer yet. Let's do the trailer first, and then we'll talk about Therizinosaurus here. You ready, everybody? Here goes.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion.
I didn't like how the Parasaurolophus were running, too. It seemed completely unnatural. Like, they didn't have any weight to them. I really didn't like that. I think out of all the different Parasaurolophus depictions in all the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies so far, I thought this was the most subpar.
Something that was real. Something that I could see and touch.
I mean, and this too, I assume this is supposed to be a Patasaurus. Most boring design for a sauropod that I've seen in recent years. Just completely uninspiring. It's like, it's almost like they issued themselves a challenge. Like, let's make the most dull-looking sauropod dinosaur we can do. Just sorely disappointing. I mean, what's interesting about it? I don't know. It's big and gray. They didn't even give it the proper whip-like diplodocid tail like these guys had. The tail is, like, kind of stumpy for an apatosaur. It should end with, like, a super long, whip-like extremity, and it didn't. Just thoroughly, thoroughly disappointing. Yeah. And why did they green screen it in and not fix the feet at the snow? I don't know. I mean, a lot of these scenes felt really tacked on. Like this one here at the beginning. This is toward the beginning of the film. And, I don't know. They have a plot point where there's like, oh, dinosaurs are attracted to road flares for whatever reason. Because, like, that was a thing in the original Jurassic Park. Is that Jeff Goldblum's character uses a road flare to, like, kind of distract the Tyrannosaurus. It's really, It's at night in the dark, and it's a bright, shiny thing. But like here, apparently all dinosaurs are just attracted to road flares like moths to a flame. It's just dumb, you know. The whole movie was like this. Things didn't feel thought out. It's just, yeah, I don't know. So they like lure it off of this, lumber yard using a road flare. Oh, it's so dumb. But yeah. But fire bad, says Engineer. I don't know. Apparently dinosaurs want to eat fire in this movie. That actually happened later on. Yeah. Let's see. It looks like the Apatosaurus is a moving label on the backdrop plate. I was really disappointed. Like, a lot of the visual effects in this film were kind of stupendously bad. For, like, a huge, big budget movie. I think it all comes down to the creature designs. Like, if you have really good designs in the first place, then you can make them move convincingly, and I don't know. It was like they didn't put the effort in to do that. And so rendering them is never going to be any good. So, anyway, yeah. They want to eat fire. Yeah, RBRO. I mean, the Giganotosaurus ends up eating another creature that's on fire and then, like, basically breathing fire later in the film. Yeah. I think most of the budget was Chris Pratt's contract as Sparrow Cat. Could be. I don't know. I found him, like, almost kind of charming in the first one. This one, like, I don't know. Just sick of him. Oh, shoot. I gotta work on being more positive here, you know? It's fun talking about this right now with everybody. That's a positive thing. I'm happy about that. So we're here together. We're talking about this. That's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Creation.
And I swear the raptors, the velociraptors, Deinonychus in this film, look even more reptilian and scaly than they did in the previous films. It's ridiculous. Like, you go back and you watch some of the, the original Jurassic Park films, and they've got a certain kind of sleekness to them, and they have, I don't know, their skin is kind of almost more leathery than it is, like, Gila Monster pebbly. It's like they're trying really, really hard to make these animals look as reptilian as they possibly can. And to somebody like me, who's been waiting for, feathered dinosaurs for a really long time in one of these movies, it just feels like they're, I don't know, they're kind of thumbing their nose at, yeah, we'll get into that later, too, with the feathered dinosaurs that they had. And I've got a hypothesis about a particular one. We'll talk about that. I think... Oh, boy. Wait for this, because it's... I'll get everybody's opinion in chat about something when we talk about the Pyroraptor. And you can tell me if you think my suspicions are correct. But, yeah. Billy Joe says, Hollywood needs to get over the hang-up that feathers equals cute and not scary. Exactly, Billy Joe. I mean, I think it's, like, just a few people who need to, get over that and get with the times. But yeah. Were they going for a Dinotopia feel, minus the color and the pageantry and the inherent interest in what's going on? Yeah, there you go, Caravan. Oh, boy, yeah. And also just the voiceover at the beginning. It's like they have to sell you, they're just using, voiceover from the original Jurassic Park film with Richard Attenborough. Yeah.
Creation is an act of sheer will.
There's a... Shoot. There's a... almost a cliche when we're talking about film. Or think of it like a rule, maybe. It's like when you're making a movie, and it's not going to be a great movie, don't be constantly reminding the audience of a better movie in your movie. Don't be doing constant callbacks to a good film. Who was it was it the MST3K guys, or maybe it was Red Letter Media or somebody, but they would talk about this all the time. where, I don't know. If you're making Jaws 4, don't just have constant callbacks to the first film and, like, keep cutting back, having stock footage from the first film and stuff like that. Because it's such a stark contrast with what you have going on right there. And they didn't take that advice here, clearly. Yeah. And the Pyroraptor was terrible, the model and all. Right, Smart Resource? We'll talk about that. Because I think I've got a suspicion about where they got that model from. And it's really amusing to me, so I don't know. Maybe it will be to you, too. But yeah, we went from 33 seconds to 38. There you go, David Peterson. And stopped at 35. Yeah, buckle in. This is gonna... this is how it's gonna go on this stream. And the only reason you wanted to see this is because of Dr. Grant, Dr. Sadler? Yeah, shoot. Laura Dern and Sam Neill. It was nice seeing them again. I wish they had better material to work with. You could tell they were both such talented actors that you could tell they weren't really taking the movie seriously. It's like, yeah, this is a paycheck. We're gonna make it goofy. We're not trying real hard here. And, you know, props to them. You get that bag, you know? But, yeah. And that is MST3K. Okay. Nice. Diagonal, pocket theremin, overdrawn at the memory bank. There you go, yes. Yeah. Don't show a good movie in the middle of your bad movie. There you go, Caravan. There you go. Showing Casablanca in the middle of... Oh, did they really do that? Overdrawn at the memory bank? Oh, no. Yeah. And Kirsten says, agreed, it was such a shadow of what they were before. I mean, yeah, what they were given before, sure. I mean, I don't know. Here's some... I don't know, personal info. When I was a kid, Jurassic Park was one of my favorite movies. And like up through my adolescence, still loved Jurassic Park. And I had a huge crush on Laura Dern as Dr. Ellie Sattler in Jurassic Park. And I don't know, something about her... She's just so smart and intrepid and, like, you know, doesn't take any guff from anybody. Didn't seem like the same character in this movie, you know? I don't know. And same with Sam Neill's character, with Alan Grant. I mean...
Hello.
Yeah.
The creature we will be examining is a paleontologist.
Lone Mountain. Welcome, Lone Mountain and Raiders, to Paleontologizing. It is great to have you here. Welcome. Thank you so much for the raid, Lone Mountain. I hope you had a lovely stream. It's wonderful to have you here. Holy cow. For anybody who's new, let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. I'm here on Twitch trying to do some good old-fashioned science outreach, and today we're talking about Jurassic World Dominion, which I just saw a little over an hour ago. And, oh shoot, the movie was like 2.5 hours long. And with the trailers and everything, it was like, about like 3.5 hours. Anyway, I'm streaming to you from a hotel in Idaho, United States right now. I was supposed to be doing some museum live streams this weekend, but my mobile encoder is not working. They need to send me some new modems for it. So we're, I don't know. When life gives you gators, you make Gatorade, right? That's what we're trying to do here. So, yeah. Lone Mountain, thank you again for the raid. Really appreciate it. Hope your stream was fantastic. Yeah. And Kirsten's is kind of like they did with Tamara and Ravenwood. Exactly. And Tex, hey, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Good to have you here. Lovely, yeah. Yeah, 2 hours, 37 minutes. Holy cow, Smorphosaurus. That's nuts. And Darlin Dr. Lambchop says, when Jurassic Park first came out, I was way more into the dinosaurs, didn't care about the humans. Me too, when it Yeah, the first time I saw it, but first times that I saw it when I was a kid. But after a while, I mean, the first Jurassic Park film, it's got some really solid performances. Like, and the human drama is very bearable, you know? Yeah, except for maybe the addition of the kids. That was, but I don't know, they kind of did that for kid appeal, I suppose. But like, I don't know, fantastic performances. Jurassic World felt like, you know, it's like a comic book movie. Like, I don't know, it felt creatively bankrupt, and this one honestly kind of did too. Actually, a lot. So yeah. And it came out when you were like 12. Oh, cool. Yeah. I think I'm a little bit younger than you, Dr. Lambchop. But yeah, yeah. And is that right, Dr. Lambchop? Nice, nice. You had a crush on Sam Neill. I had a crush on Laura Dern. Did. Maybe still do. She's wonderful. But anyway, yeah. And there you go, Milo. Here, let's get back to our trailer here. There we go. Pause our tunes. There we go.
Life will find a way.
Again, don't remind people of a better movie in the middle of your movie.
Can't keep her here forever.
They find her, we're never gonna see her again. We gotta protect her. That's our job.
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist.
And the mosasaur, it only appears for like really briefly in the film. The thing just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. It's like 300 feet long now. Just ridiculous. I mean,
Dinosaurs can't coexist.
so I don't know. A mosasaur skull, a really big one, is like this big maybe. It's not, you know, the skull alone is not 30 feet long. And diagnosis baby dinosaur is a shrunk version of the adult with the same proportions as the adult. Yeah, and no feathers, no, I don't know. The eyes were a little bigger, but yeah, I don't know. Frustrating. Frustrating.
Exist.
We created an ecological disaster.
That wasn't in the movie. What? Hang on. This wasn't in the movie.
Created an ecological disaster.
That wasn't in it. And I made a point of not getting up to go to the bathroom or get water or anything the whole time. This wasn't in the movie. Oh, and this was funny too, the whole like dig site scene. Alan Grant's whole field operation. Incredibly well funded. I mean, holy cow, shoot, everybody. This is one of those things. Let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about this for a minute. There we go. So yesterday, I had a conversation with L.J. Krumenacker, vertebrate paleontologist from Idaho, and he was gracious enough to let me stream from his home. I don't know, like, people like me and LJ and other paleontologists like us, we can barely afford gasoline to get out to field sites, you know? And in the movie, they make a point of, like, showing Dr. Grant, like, oh, his funding is dried up and, you know, he's really slumming it. It's like, no, holy cow. It's this huge, enormous field operation. Great big wall tent that's, like, you know, a permanent thing there. What's going on with our alerts? Our Moon, thank you for the follow. I don't know what's up with our alerts today. Apologies. Yeah. Anyway. I think about these movies in the sense that, like, the thing that I'm most concerned about is how is this going to affect public perception of dinosaur science? And it might seem like a small thing to everybody listening right now, but when you show a really, really well-funded field operation, like they did in this film, like they're out there at a dig site and they've got this big old wall tent with like all of these tables set up and they've got electricity and running water and like all these different vehicles and all this other stuff, and then they go, oh, you know, our budget is run dry. It's like, holy cow, that is way 100 times better provisioned and more cushy and better funded than any field operation I've ever been part of, you know? Yeah, it just... I know it's Hollywood, but still, it's contributing to this idea that paleontologists are well paid, or, I don't know, we have a lot of funding. Generally, we're not, and we don't. So yeah, let me catch up to chat. But yeah, would have loved to sit next to Danny watching his reactions during this movie, says Pocket Theremin. Yeah, I was the only one in the whole theater wearing a mask for COVID, so you probably wouldn't have been able to see my expression except for my eyes. But yeah. And don't do the feathered dinosaur without me. Okay, Beth, we won't. Yeah. And is it safe to assume they didn't have a paleontologist on staff for the movie? They did, Milo, but I don't know if they actually let him have any real input. I don't know. It wasn't Jack Horner, though. I can tell you that. And Rahab Alam says, on the topic of public perception, I can't wait for any discussion about Giganotosaurus or other large theropods. Be flooded with comparisons to Therizinosaurus. Yeah, Rahab. This is like that old, you know, who would win in a race? The Flash or Superman? Who would win in a fight? Giganotosaurus or Therizinosaurus? Like they're... yeah, I don't know. And yeah, Patrick Parrott, I'm trying very, very hard not to get COVID or give it to anybody else, so yeah. Yeah. And Jody Fish, you've been doing it too? Yeah, good on you, Jody Fish, for wearing a mask. Keeping other people safe, keeping yourself safe. And Smorphosaurus, I agree, Prehistoric Planet should be made full-length film, show in theaters. Yeah. I'm all for that. I'm so glad that Prehistoric Planet came out before Jurassic World Dominion, because it featured a lot of the same dinosaurs, and we'll talk about it. We'll do some comparisons in just a little bit. But yeah. The prosthetic arm baby baryonyx. Wait, Paleo Nerd, that was supposed to be a baryonyx? No. Are you serious? I'm not sure what theropod that was supposed to be. The one in the, like, dinosaur black market scene? Oh, no. Stream ruined. Yeah, that's it. Ending the stream. No. I can't believe that was supposed to be baryonyx. Oh, it's one of my dinosaurs. I feel personally affronted, you know? Baryonyx is such a cool, interesting-looking dinosaur. It's so unique, and they just really bland, ugly, generic theropod there. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. And I've never seen Microcosmos. That sounds really cool, Rahab Alam. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. They wanted to capitalize on Godzilla being a big monster with the Mosasaurus, I guess. Hugin? I don't know, but they, like... Mosasaurus didn't even play a part in this film. They show it, like, twice. Just real brief shots. Yeah. And Milo says, don't watch the second Jurassic World. Their baryonyx is upsetting. I've seen that clip. And this was worse than that, if you can believe it. Yeah, maybe we'll get to that, too.
On formal occasions, he's called Brontosaurus. Big fella, isn't
and who is that?
70 feet long.
RT Dougal, thank you.
A substantial 35.
Thank you for the follow. That looked a lot like the Apatosaurus in Jurassic World Dominion. Oh no. Seriously, most of the dinosaurs are just straight out of the 1980s. It was embarrassing. There were a few that were decent, I guess, and it was cool to see a Dicynodont in there. I think maybe that was supposed to be Lystrosaurus. But yeah. And Mosasaurus was used for product placement, I guess, so they could sell more toys. Yeah. Oh, and Lenina going to adopt an animal from the... Lenina, don't they have gharials? Was I talking to you about that over through Whispers? I think so. But if you want to do Komodo Dragon, you can totally do that. Or you can do a straw poll in the Discord. Certainly. Yeah. Up to you, Lenina. Either of those is a winner. If you want to help, you know, pay for the conservation of a big reptile. Komodo dragons and gharials, they're sort of top tier. Yeah. And thank you, Claire, for the hydrate. Appreciate it. How about the Carno in the market? Oh, the Carnotaurus? Shoot, that's another dinosaur that was in Jurassic World Dominion and in Prehistoric Planet. Part of me thinks that Darren Naish and the rest of the crew behind Prehistoric Planet may have been trying to kind of throw some shade by, like, you know, we know that Jurassic World Dominion is going to have some of these dinosaurs. We're going to do them better, though. I like to think that. And holy cow, did they do them better. Yeah. But yeah. But yeah, Smorphosaurus, the Carnotaurus was not great. And a Chardell, Muldoon survives the Jurassic Park book? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But yeah, and Prehistoric Planet's Carnotaurus was exquisite. It was really good. Yeah. S-tier trolling for Prehistoric Planet, I approve, says Billy Joe. I think so. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to our trailer here. And let's continue. Again, the dig site, super well provisioned. Look at that! Look at all this equipment over here. This is like a permanent wall tent. Like how they had to have been there for like months and months for all of this stuff to accumulate. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
And like, look, they've got a little cast of a theropod right there. Who's that supposed to be? Compsognathus or something? I'm not sure who that's supposed to be. They've got a little miniature Spinosaurus cast over there too. It looks like a stegosaur plate. Yeah, filing cabinets. Imagine having filing cabinets with you in the field. Nuts. Doesn't happen.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You coming or what?
There's our Therizinosaurus right there. Who does have feathers. They feel kind of slapped on. Again, we'll do a side-by-side comparison with the Jurassic World Therizinosaurus and the Prehistoric Planet one. Yeah.
We're racing toward the extinction.
Also, it's like pursuing Bryce Dallas Howard like it's gonna eat her. It's very unclear what dietarily the Therizinosaurus is supposed to be doing in this film. Is it a plant eater? Is it a meat eater? What's its deal? It's very ambiguous about that. And I thought going into this film that they were gonna have like I don't know. This is a great opportunity for like a big gag, a nice joke where like she's super scared of this animal and it stalks toward her, and she's terrified that it's about to eat her, and then it just bends down and starts chomping some ferns or something like that. Handled well, that could have been a really cool, really memorable joke. Could have been really funny. But no, they're not into being that creative with this film. Yeah. Plant Eater Territorial Blind. Wait, is it supposed to be blind? Paleo Nerd? I didn't get that, huh? Yeah. And why didn't they do that, says Claire Burr? I don't know. Yeah. And who were the paleontologist consultants for this movie? I'm not gonna discuss that, Hugo, but you can look it up. I don't want to cast any aspersions here. But yeah. Must be a predator, says Caravan. There you go. Yeah.
We're racing toward the extinction of our species.
We not only lack dominion over nature,
We're subordinate to it.
And there were the, what do they call them, Atrociraptor, which I swear they just picked because of the name. I mean, Hugo, we were talking about this. How Atrociraptor is known from, I think, a maxilla and maybe a few other skull bones, and that's it. Not a well-known dinosaur. There's so many other dromaeosaurs that they could have put into here. I mean, shoot, have Ostroraptor, have Utah Raptor. Would have been a wonderful, wonderful addition to this. But no, I guess they liked the name. This is so surface level. Everything is surface level with Jurassic World, it seems. We're like, oh, it's got a catchy sounding name, so, you know, that's why we'll make the decision to have that dinosaur. Same with Pyroraptor, you know? These are animals that are not known from a lot of material. We don't have a lot of good science on them. There's so many better candidates within Dromaeosauridae, within the raptor family. And they didn't go with those, and that's kind of deeply frustrating, you know? You know, it'd be interesting to get Dave's opinion on this, because I think Dave might be one of the original authors on that paper. Let's look it up real quick. Atrociraptor. And the first result now is from the Jurassic Park wiki. Yeah, Wikipedia. Is Dave one of the original authors? Yeah! Phil Curry and Dave Verricchio, 2004. New dromaeosaurid from the Horseshoe Canyon Formation of Alberta, Canada. That is what the specimen looks like. We've got a dennary and a maxilla and maybe a bit of premax there. Some stuff up top as well, but that's it, you know? And this is what this animal would have looked like. Something like that. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. I appreciate you. Welcome to Paleontologizing. This movie didn't have the courage to actually put feathers on its dromaeosaurs, except for the Pyroraptor, which is good. It's not terrible, I suppose. Although I don't know. We'll talk about the Pyroraptor and what's disappointing about it. Yeah, Refrigeraptor. There you go, Paleo Nerd. Parkour Raptors. There you go, Rehavilam Dysmotus. Yeah. And hey, Mom, how are you doing? Paleo Mom, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Who here in chat was there for my stream with my mom and Auntie Kathy on Tuesday? It was. Did you enjoy that, everybody? Let Paleo Mom know how much you enjoyed that if you did. And Mom, I'm really glad you enjoyed your inner fish. I thought you would like that. I'm so glad that resonated with you. And Lenina, thank you. Thank you, Lenina. I really appreciate that. Mom, now you have access to those dinosaur emotes if you want to use them. And you won't have to watch the ads, which is really cool, for 1 month with that gift sub. So thank you, Lenina. I really appreciate that. So yeah. Maybe they could just try a new idea for an original dinosaur movie. Yeah, Caravan, there's so many possibilities. Anyway. We need a new dinosaur movie series that actually has accurate dinosaurs in it. I agree, Smurfosaurus. I mean, shoot, I hope they do more seasons of Prehistoric Planet. You know, that would be incredible. But yeah. And you were there, Jody Fish? I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Tarquin, I'm glad you had fun. Billy Joe says Paleo Mom always fun on stream. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, Hugan, I'm glad you enjoyed that too. Kodali, yeah. And Innerfish was amazing. Mom, I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Yeah. Great energy, says Christie's Hardnook. And Mulls Bippus, how are you doing? They say I get all my facts from Dino Dana, lol. Well, shoot, you're gonna have better facts than if you got them all from Jurassic World. Welcome, Malls Bibbis. Great to have you here. Shoot, I should also do like a station break kind of deal here. If anybody is new in chat right now, welcome to Paleontologizing. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist here on Twitch trying to do some good old-fashioned science outreach, you know? So welcome, welcome. Sometimes science outreach means, in the interest of reaching out, talking about pop culture stuff. Talking about stuff that people see at the movies and whether it represents dinosaur science well. So today we're talking about Jurassic World Dominion and, oh boy, yeah. I just saw it today, just a couple hours ago, and died a little bit inside, just a little bit, you know. But it wasn't my favorite. Kind of hard to push ads, isn't it, Jody Fish? Wait, what do you mean? Did I miss something? Mistrictian says, just passing through, by the way, managed to get Prehistoric Kingdom. Have a big learning curve to get through it, I think. Oh, interesting, Mistrictian. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. Oh, no, Prehistoric Kingdom. Sorry, I was thinking Prehistoric Planet. Prehistoric Kingdom is a ton of fun, and hope you're enjoying it. We will be playing some of that probably in a month or two when I'm back home in the Bay Area. But yeah, for right now, I'm traveling. So, again, streaming to everybody from Eastern Idaho right now. This is a hotel that I'm staying at. Yeah, shout out to my dad for helping me get the hotel room. Really appreciate that, Dad. So I don't have to sleep in the car, you know? Makes a big difference. It really does. This is so posh. I'm not used to this kind of thing, you know? So yeah, nice waterfall behind you. Thank you, Arle. Hey, Dad, you're here. Great to see you. Yeah, check that out. Very nice. Room's even got artwork. Intentional artwork. I've been in some hotels that had unintentional artwork. That's not always so nice. But yeah. Anyway, and how's Montana looking, Danny, says Mistrictian? I might be going to Montana in about maybe 3 or 4 weeks. We'll have to see. It's not on my agenda yet. I'm going to be driving out east to about Illinois, or thereabouts. And then when I come back west, I might pop through Montana. We'll see. But yeah. And anyway, Rahab Alum says, was talking about Prehistoric Kingdom in the Discord the other day. Such a breath of fresh air to have the whole concept be approached with wonder and awe rather than terror. And since there you go, Rahab Alum. Completely agreed. Yeah. Yeah, happy nightmares. I've seen some stuff. So yeah. And there you go. Paleo Mama's discovered the emotes. Nice, Mom. Nice. Yeah. And thank you, Mr. Ictian. Hey, I really appreciate that. Yeah. And Prehistoric Kingdom actually treats dinosaurs like real animals, not just props. There you go, Rahab Alum. Yep. Shoot, we've got like a 3-minute trailer, and I have been taking how long with this? We're like halfway through it. Let's continue. And here's the Atrociraptor, which, oh boy. They did give it kind of a brachyrostron snout, which it may well have had. Kind of a shorter snout, but I don't know. Should have had feathers.
Over nature?
There's our Pyroraptor. Ooh boy, it does have feathers, so you know, props. I bet you, like, yeah, I don't know. Their paleontological consultant probably feels like this was a huge victory. And I feel like the director of the film completely undercut that by making it dive underneath the ice and... yeah. And then the locusts.
I always come back.
Most of this movie was about locusts rather than dinosaurs, which was a little... It was an odd choice.
That's another plane, right?
Not exactly.
Big ol' Asdarkin pterosaur just casually tearing apart an airplane, you know. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah.
And if dinosaurs had not died, I imagine that mammals would still be small creatures like this, living in the nooks and crannies of their world, and we wouldn't be here.
Murphith, is that how I say your name? It's tough to, like, this is so small right here. I'm trying to make this bigger so I can see properly. But thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Yeah. Next movie, Fast and Furious Jurassic World. This is what that felt like, Yugen. Yeah. Why are there locusts? That's the whole movie, Dr. Lambchop. This is a movie about locusts for the most part, and dinosaurs are just kind of set dressing for big parts of it. This whole subplot, or really like the main plot, about like genetic engineering, and there's this company that produces these locusts to try and eat everybody's crops except for their own bioengineered crops, and it's just, I don't know. There's stuff like this that biotech companies actually do, but it's a really kind of ham-fisted way to approach it. And Mathsalus, is that it? Mathalus, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Paleontologizing. I'm like squinting to try and see that there. But welcome. Thank you for following. Appreciate it. But yeah. And it wasn't supposed to have wings? Oh no, Paleo Nerd. Shoot, we're going to talk about that. Yeah. They wanted to channel the spirit of the plagues of Egypt. Maybe it's Harquin? I don't know. Yeah. And Mistrictian, I think I agree with you there. Yeah. I don't know. Each one of these Jurassic World movies, and to a certain extent some of the Jurassic Park movies too, have felt like big missed opportunities in, I don't know, showing people cool dinosaurs and cool science. Yeah, now let's continue.
Why do they always have to go bigger?
I don't remember that line from the movie. Yeah. And the Giganotosaurus was a disappointment too. You know, I could appreciate that in the in Jurassic Park 3 at least, introducing Spinosaurus. It was very different as a theropod dinosaur. I really don't mind that, you know? I thought that was cool. I was a fan of that kind of thing. Showing people something new. Giganotosaurus just felt like it felt generic in this film, you know? It wasn't handled well. Giganotosaurus should have been really, really cool and really, really memorable, and it didn't feel that way. It really didn't. Yeah. And Caravan, what we've done to Megafauna unconsciously. Yeah, Caravan. The whole film seems kind of confused about that, too. In terms of like, oh, we should protect these dinosaurs, but they're also clearly like wreaking havoc on some of these environments. I don't know, it just felt muddled. It felt confused. So yeah. And Tarquin says it swam too, right? Yeah, the Spinosaurus, yeah. That was ahead of its time. It is swimming Spinosaurus. Back in 2001. Pretty cool. And that line was cut, says Paliner. Okay. I thought that Jeff Goldblum line was cut. Yeah. And the Giganotosaurus was terribly modeled. Yeah, I thought it was really disappointing. Smorphosaurus. And I agree with you, Centrifuge Destroyer. I mean, shoot, I think... I'm not going to get into this a whole bunch right now, but I do think there's a lot of fear-mongering about GMOs. It's corporate practices that we should be worried about, not the technology itself, you know? For the most part. That's all I'll say about that. Yeah. It's not the science that should be demonized. It's these corporations. But anyway, yeah. And Mr. Ichthian, thank you for being here. I will see you next time, Mr. Ichthian. Thanks for stopping by. You have a great rest of your day. Yeah. And Linton Gamer says, I quite like how the Giganotosaurus acted in the movie. It wasn't bad. I mean, out of all the different animals in the movie, it kind of acted the most like an animal, you know? It didn't feel as much like a monster as I thought it was going to, you know? The way that it and the Tyrannosaurus have kind of like a territorial battle at the beginning. It's like, yeah, they're not just gonna go completely to 11 and just try and kill each other right there. It's like, no, they're only gonna fight as much as they need to. That felt like real animal behavior. That was good. That was a good thing about the movie, you know? That was a positive, I suppose. Yeah. And they're treating them like an invasive species. They're not kudzu, they're living, breathing things. Well, Dr. Lambchop, again, the movie felt kind of confused about that, you know? I might need to see it a second time to really make sense of, like, what the movie's stance was on that. Because I was confused. It felt very muddled. Yeah. Trace the people like a big cat. Linton Gamer, yeah, you're right. And Matthias, hey, welcome. You're welcome for the follow. Thank you, Ken. Hello there, and I'm sending greetings from the Czech Republic. There aren't many people on the scene talking about dinosaurs and prehistoric eras, so thank you for that. Of course, Matthias, that's what I do here. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. So I dig up dinosaurs for museums, I study them, I publish on them, and now I talk about them full-time here on Twitch. Right now, I'm in the midst of this great big road trip going all across the United States. Well, not all across, but pretty far across the United States. Visiting different museums and field sites. I'm going to be doing some field work, digging up some dinosaurs later on in the summer, and I'll be streaming that, hopefully, provided the equipment all works. Right now, I'm at a hotel in Idaho, United States, eastern Idaho, and I'll be heading out to Wyoming in just a couple days. And, yeah, hopefully my equipment starts working the way that it's supposed to, because, yeah, it's been giving me some trouble. But yeah. And Rahab, I agree with that, yeah. It's funny, the Giganotosaurus didn't act as much like a monster as I had expected it would in a film like this. But there you go, Centrifuge Story, yeah. Because you know T-Rex, there you go, Paleonerd, yeah. We'll get to Pyroraptor in just a little bit, Litton Gamer. We'll talk about that. But yeah. And Matthias says that must be a dream to be a paleontologist in the USA. It is. Country that has the most dinosaurs. Yeah, absolutely. And again, standard disclaimer, I should make it clear that not all paleontologists work on dinosaurs. In fact, most paleontologists don't. The word paleontologist, what that means is somebody who studies fossils, a fossil scientist. And dinosaurs are not the only creatures that left fossils. You've got ancient mammals, you've got plants, you've got all, untold numbers of invertebrates and fungi and every other organism. A lot of these creatures left fossils for us to find, and there are paleontologists who study each of those different kinds of organisms. Paleontology is not just dinosaurs. Although dinosaurs are what I study, so I guess I'm not helping that stereotype. Which is why I try and do disclaimers like this. But yeah. And cool, Litton Gamer, that's neat. In the game it was better. Nice. And Rahabalam says it was massively hypocritical of the movie to treat that as if it was a victory. So far as we know, it was the only Giganotosaurus on the planet, and it was... Yeah, shoot. I kind of felt the same way, Rahabalam. I mean... And also, where is that supposed to have come from in the first place? Maybe it's explained in the previous movie or something, which I didn't see.
Science is like a blabbermouth who ruins a movie by telling you how it ends.
Wade Wright.
Say there are some things we don't want to know. Important things.
Welcome to Paleontologizing. Thank you for the follow. Good to have you here. Yeah. The movie's all we need to protect these animals, like choose a message and stick with it. I agree, Rahabalam. It was the message felt very muddled. The movie seemed confused. Like, what's the stance here, you know? Yeah. But anyway. Wait, is that the real pronunciation of fungi? Fungi, fungi, fungi. Tomato, potato, Christy Zartnock. You know? Yeah, I say fungi. Oh, yeah, Lit and Gamer, don't get me started on the Dimetrodon in the movie, too. Well, shoot. First off, let's talk about Therizinosaurus real quick. Let me find this. Therizinosaurus. Oh, this is going to have two of our different dinosaurs here, I suppose. Here we go. I'm working on a laptop here. I've only got one monitor, so apologies if it seems a little clunky. But there is our Therizinosaurus from the movie. And I don't know why they're showing the Pyroraptor right here. It's not supposed to be about that. But, well, shoot, that was it. Compare that to this right here from Prehistoric Planet. They've got a lovely depiction of a Therizinosaurus here that I hope you'll really enjoy. Here we go. Much, much, much better than Jurassic World Dominions. Look at those long feathers coming off the arms. There's some baby Therizinosaurus, little juveniles.
An adult Therizinosaurus.
Check that out.
It's huge, nearly 30 feet tall and weighing 5 tons.
30 feet long, I think is what he meant. He's gonna get some honey.
Nothing the bees can do deters this one.
So again, it's being treated like an animal, you know, not like a monster. I would love to know if the people who were in charge of choosing which dinosaurs would be featured in Prehistoric Planet, I'd love to know if they intentionally did this as some shade toward the Jurassic World series. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna have these dinosaurs, we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do them well, you know? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Wait, hang on. Rahabalam says the Biosyn company made it. Oh, really? Interesting. So the feathered dinosaurs are supposed to be created by Biosyn? Is that the idea? Huh. Oh, yeah. There isn't a good plot, says Wade Wright. There you go. Wade Wright, great to have you here. Welcome. Yeah. And, Len Gamer says it looks a bit too big for that amount of feathering. I don't know about that. I mean, yeah. I mean, as far as we know, there were other great big theropod dinosaurs like Eutyrannus that were probably fully coated with feathers. So yeah. I don't know. Any thoughts on David Attenborough's new Prehistoric Planet? And Beth, no, 100%. Yeah, we spent a whole week talking about Prehistoric Planet. And, by the way, if anybody here would like to watch Prehistoric Planet, I highly recommend you do so. Holy cow, if you want to see the best depictions of dinosaurs ever put to film, check out Prehistoric Planet. It is exquisite. Take it from me. It's well worth your time. And you can get a free trial from Apple TV to watch it. So use that link right there and check it out. It's pretty extraordinary. So yeah. And Tyrannus lived in a very cold environment. Kind of not super cold. It would be temperate. Linton Gamer, yeah. Not very cold, like only evergreen trees or anything. Still had broadleaf trees and that kind of thing. But yeah. And oh, a very cool Smurfosaurus. Freshwater was a good one. That might have been my favorite. Very cool. Very cool stuff. And Tarquin says... Wait, what did Tarquin say? I missed that. They could have gone for a herbivore but still dangerous feel, like the giant ground sloth from Walking with Beasts. Ah. That was meant to be a real animal and not a movie monster. There you go, Tarquin. Yeah. But yeah, check out those VODs, Beth. We go day by day, different episode every day. And they should be there for like at least another month or so. But yeah. And Rahabalam, there are smaller non-dromies. Yeah, you're right, Rahabalam. That's very true. Therizinosaurus is a Maniraptoran dinosaur, so it's from the same group as Dromaeosaurs, like Velociraptor, and Alvarezsaurs. Well, Alvarezsaurs may or may not be Maniraptorans. We're not totally sure. But anyway, it seems like most, if not all, Maniraptorans were feathered, and so Therizinosaurus being feathered, probably fully feathered, all over its body, makes a lot of sense. So yeah. But yeah. So you're right about that, Rahabalam. You're very correct. Next up, let's take a look at the... Let's see, let me just pull this up. Let's talk a little bit about the Pyroraptor. There we go. And interesting, yeah, that does not really have wings like later on. Interesting. This is the image that I was trying to find. Right here. This is like a promo image, and there's a bunch of things that I just hate about this. I like that it has feathers. That's good. That's a step in the right direction, you know. That's a positive thing, and you got to give props where they're due. But it looks really bad, really bad. And I was looking at the shape of the head here, and I thought, well, first off, there's a lot wrong with it just anatomically. Like, I don't know, why is its eye so far forward, and why do those teeth go back like behind the eye? That's not a thing that dromaeosaurs do. There's teeth in the premax and in the maxilla, and then that's it. Nothing behind there. It just, ugh. But I thought, this looks really familiar. It almost looks like it's copied from something else. Let me find you this other image, and we'll do a side-by-side. Tell me if you think my suspicion is correct here. Let's do a Google image search for... there we go. Ugh. Can we find a large size one? Come on. I won't tell you what it is. Let's see if people can figure it out. Oh boy, can we have a photo of it with its mouth open? There we go, that'll do it. So again, we've got our Pyroraptor from Jurassic World Dominion. And we have this. like it. I need to find a photo of it with its mouth further open, but it really, really looks to me like they kind of copied this model. Who could tell me where this is from? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. That is creationist Ken Ham and the Dromaeosaur Velociraptor that they have at the Creation Museum in Kentucky. So yeah, let me see if I can find another photo to really kind of hammer this point home. When it opens its mouth, that makes it a lot more obvious, the similarities. But I really kind of think that they, there we go. Am I crazy? Or does it seem like this and this? Basically the same thing. And the funny thing about this is that this Velociraptor here is just like a rip-off, kind of a poorly done rip-off of the Jurassic Park style raptors. So it kind of seems like whoever was designing the Pyroraptor for Jurassic World Dominion, they're copying a creationist copy of a Jurassic Park style raptor, or like Lost World style raptor. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I can find another picture. There was one that was really, really spot on, where you can really see the resemblance. Right there, maybe. Kind of. I don't know. But to me, I don't know. And you can tell me if you don't agree. I will not be offended. But, yeah. And, it's like a game of telephone, says Elias. I mean, yeah, welcome, Elias, by the way. Good to see you. Yeah. A zipper mouth dinosaur. There, Caravan. Yeah. Loving the Time of Chasmosverse. What a great blog, by the way. But I like that. I like that a lot. But anyway. And there you go, Beth, kind of, sort of. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh, and thank you, Paleo Nerd. Let's take a look. I don't know if I'm going to be able to open this. Well, there you go. That's lovely. This is what Pyroraptor should look like right here. Take a look at that. I mean, we don't actually have any skull material from this animal, to my knowledge. All we've got are, I think, maybe a fragment of a vertebra and then some hind limb bones. I think just some toe bones. But yeah, this is really what it should look like. Not like that. Ugh. Ugh. Also, the animal's a lot smaller. It's about the size of a goose. Pyroraptor is not a large dinosaur, as far as we can tell. So yeah, I don't know. Ugh. Can't stand it. But yeah, anyway. And Pyroraptor might not even be a valid species. I mean, I'd say it's dubious, Litten Gamer, yeah. Yeah. And there you go, Milan took bartender says white a long face. Yep. And Tarquin, why do the dinosaurs always have to be oversized? That's a great question, Tarquin. I don't know. I think it just goes back to lack of creativity with, all this Hollywood stuff, Like, oh, dinosaurs have to be big. Like, well, no, they don't. They absolutely don't. Especially when they're not actually big, So yeah. But anyway, yeah. And Litten Gamer says Pyroraptor doesn't look that bad when you see it in the video game. It's probably better in the game. It looked really bad in the movie. Really, really bad. Which is so disappointing that, you know, finally we've got a feathered dromaeosaur in a Jurassic World movie, and it looks like that. Yeah, just really bad. I mean, look at that. Ugh. I don't remember. Did it actually fold its wrists properly against its body like dromaeosaurs are supposed to do? The semi-lunate carpal bones. But they forgot the feather pants. There you go, Jody Fish, yeah. Pocket Theremin says that is a Pokemon. I guess? I don't know. Oh, and there we go. Take a look at that. Shoot. So, this right here, compare that to this. It's the same thing. Like, I really think that whoever was designing this critter got super lazy and just did like a Google image search for like Jurassic Park Velociraptor, and then they came up with something like this. And it... ugh. You see the resemblance now? Or was that? Here. And... here. You seeing it? There. And... there. Jurassic World stooping so low that they're just copying creationist depictions of dinosaurs. Not ideal. Not ideal. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Anywho. And that's the Noah's Ark guy in Tennessee. Yeah, that's Ken Ham, the creationist charlatan guy. Ugh. Oh, to know the inside story about this, to actually get the inside scoop about who created the design for these critters and how badly they goofed it up. Yeah. And Jurass is next. How are you doing? Welcome to Paleontologizing. Weren't dromaeosaurs the primates of our reptoid overlords? Very funny, Jurassic next. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Good to have you here. Yeah. Yeah. And thank you, Hugin. Yeah, everybody check out Hugin's Atrociraptor and Pyroraptor tweet. We looked at that a few weeks ago, I think. But yeah. And is the Tradoon thing working right now? It might not actually work with the mobile setup like this. I might have to add as a new source. Yeah, okay, I'm not hearing it. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Let's take a look at something real quick. I'd like to know quickly. What is the, like, you know, this stuff is not, it's not always the most helpful, but what's the Rotten Tomatoes score for Jurassic World Dominion? Just out of curiosity, let's see. Oh boy. No, not trailer. Don't play trailer. Stop. I want to find the movie. Movies. There we go. Oh boy. Not the greatest. Not the greatest. 30%. That's, oh boy. Not shocking, I suppose. Let's see, top critics.
I would agree with that, I think.
Jurassic World Dominion is dumb without the fun, and that just makes me sad. I definitely felt very empty coming out of this film. If you're looking for a Jurassic Park movie that primarily focuses on human clones and giant bugs, you're in luck. Yeah, I forgot about the whole human cloning subplot there. Yeah. It is the epitome of just okay, says Jody Fish. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that at a certain point it just becomes kind of subjective. Do you like this kind of mindless, you know, comic book style movie, or do you not? And I'm not really a fan of that kind of thing. For me, what Jurassic World Dominion and the other Jurassic World movies represent is a missed opportunity, you know? The first Jurassic Park film back in 1993 was something truly special. I guess let's pull up that old Vox video again and talk about that a little bit. Yeah. An Angel Silhouette, interesting. Falsely raised scores of certain movies. Oof. Angel Silhouette, great to see you, by the way. How you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. Yeah. Velocipaster. Oh, no. Let's see. Here we go. This should do it. Hang on just a moment here. Just got one monitor here. And I need to enable the fade in and fade out for the music too. That's really jarring when it just pauses like that. But here we go. This is from Vox.com from, I think, 2015. And I don't know. They did a good job with this one.
First came out in 1993. It was when Jurassic Park first came out in 1993, it was a pretty groundbreaking depiction of dinosaurs.
This is my point here. I'm trying to show you rather than just telling you. But yeah, this was a huge deal. A lot of people felt like they were seeing dinosaurs for the first time when they saw the original Jurassic Park, because movies before it, you know.
Steven Spielberg certainly took plenty of artistic liberties, but overall, the movie was so much better than what had come before in terms
That's
of
from
recreating
Dinosaurus, Baby Secret of the Lost Legend,
and how they moved.
Yeah.
The character Alan
and Ken Carpenter, they did do a pretty good job. I would agree with that. Yeah, but I mean, shoot, I wish I could show you like a montage of different dinosaur depictions up until 1993. They're, for the most part, pretty goofy, and part of that is technological limitations, but part of it is also just, in fact, maybe most of it, is just the way that they approach dinosaurs as big, scaly, reptilian, you know, monsters, basically. In Jurassic Park, you know, has a little bit of monsterification, but for the most part, it's treating these like real animals, and for the most part, kind of trying hard to actually get the dinosaurs correct in a lot of ways. Jurassic Park, back in 1993, you know, that was a quantum leap in the cinema depiction of dinosaurs, including, and maybe most especially, introducing the general public to the idea that birds evolved from dinosaurs. That wasn't, you know, there wasn't even a strong consensus among paleontologists at that point. It was maybe half of dinosaur paleontologists at the time said like, oh yeah, you know, dinosaurs probably evolved from birds. But, you know, so I don't know, it was definitely ahead of its time in that sense.
But overall, the movie was so much better than what had come before in terms of recreating what scientists knew about how dinosaurs looked and how they moved.
Yep.
The character Alan Grant was actually a bit ahead of his time.
Look at the half moon.
Also based on my old boss, Jack Horner. But yeah, this is ahead of his time.
The character Alan Grant was actually a bit ahead of his time.
Look at the half moon-shaped bones on the wrist. That's no one of these guys learned how to fly. No, seriously.
Back then, the claim that birds evolved from dinosaurs was still controversial. Now it's widely accepted.
This is back in 1993, by the way. We wouldn't find feathered dinosaurs, like incontrovertible proof of, you know, feather integument on dinosaurs until, what, 1996 in Liaoning? I think this video talks about that, too.
But in the late 1990s, the science started speeding ahead, and the movies just didn't keep up. Even the latest installment, Jurassic World, shot in ultra-high-definition 3D, it features dinosaurs.
Oh, they're terrible. I mean, shoot, look at these
World
ornithomimosaurs
shot
here.
in ultra-high-definition 3D.
Running around with Mr. Burns' arms. And somebody told me these are actually supposed to be Gallimimus. These look so much worse than the Gallimimus in 1993. Just deeply embarrassing, you know? 22 years later, they'd be taking such a step backwards there. Just really bad. Really, really bad. And there you go, Hugin. Yeah. Predatory behavior in a Tyrannosaur. Not a monster, just an animal doing what animals do. So yeah. And no, Engineer Clipper, I don't have the new Starlink. It's the old one because they sent it to me last September, I think. So yeah. Anyway, they look more like plucked ostriches, Jody Fish. I know, right? Smithers, Pocket Theremin. Pocket Themin knows what's up.
3D.
Yeah.
It features dinosaurs that are out of date.
And so this is the thing with the Velociraptors here. They went out of their way to make them look more lizardy in Jurassic World. These are the most lizardy that they looked up until this point. And then, I don't know, in Jurassic World Dominion, they look even more lizardy. They've got that pebbly, almost kind of like Komodo dragon, or not bearded dragon, Gila monster type pebbly skin. Just embarrassing. In 2015, we'd already known that dinosaurs like these had feathers. We'd known that for almost 20 years at that point.
That are out of date.
Yeah. Plucked ostriches would be an improvement, Trek Nerd.
3 years after the first Jurassic Park movie was released, scientists in China uncovered a feathered dinosaur for the first time. Sinosauropteryx. It takes very specific conditions for the Earth to record soft tissues like these primitive feathers. The animals had to be buried quickly before decomposing, and in fine-grained sediment.
Yep.
It turned out that this part of China, Liaoning province, saw major volcanic eruptions around 120 million years ago, which provided these very conditions.
All right, Smorphosaurus.
And more
See you
than
next
30
time.
feathered dinosaur species have been unearthed there and in some other places since 1996. These fuzzy dinosaurs were mostly two-legged meat eaters, part of a group that's closely related to birds in the dinosaur family tree. That group includes many of the dinosaurs featured in the...
See, look how much better the Gallimimus looked in 1993 than in 2015. They're so much better right here.
related to birds in the dinosaur family tree. That group includes many of the dinosaurs featured in the
out.
Jurassic Park movies.
Shoot.
Gallimimus.
These guys probably had feathers of some sort for insulation or decoration.
Yep.
And that includes the raptors. Jurassic Park 3 sort of nodded to the new research by giving them a little bit of a hairdo, but their feathers probably looked more like this.
Yeah, in fact, let's take a look at, where is that image? Feathered Velociraptor. Where's the one that I really, really like? Let's see. Actually, that would have been really cool. Just having them look like that. Holy cow, would that be neat. And this is a little goofy, but they're trying to make them look goofy here. Where is the really good one? The kind of golden eagle style. Google Images is so frustrating like this. Where it used to be right at the top of the page, and now it's just cluttered up with junk. Where did that go? There you go. There's an actual feathered Deinonychus. And there, too. But, shoot, where was the really cool-looking one? This is what I'm trying to find the image that I usually point to, where I say that, Like, they could have made the velociraptors in Jurassic World feathered and also legitimately scary. Oh, and look at that. Just look at the pebbly texture on the skin right there. And there's just way too many teeth. It just looks terrible. It's really, really bad. The eyes are also way too big. And what's this? ScreenRant.com. Hang on a second. Dominion's feathered raptors still don't fix Jurassic Park's dino mistake. Fails to fix everything. I would completely agree with this. Yeah, holy cow. Interesting stuff. Clearly not the only person with this opinion. Jurassic World Dominion's continued flawed depiction will undoubtedly disappoint many dinosaur fans. Yeah. And many paleontologists, too. Like me. Oh, boy. Yeah. So where did that go? Feathered velociraptor. Feathered raptor, maybe? Concept art. There we go. That's the one that I was trying to find. Take a look at this. By Fred Wyron, apparently. Just beautiful. I mean, this is what the feathered raptors could have looked like if they'd done them in 2015. Imagine that. Imagine this movie comes out, Jurassic World in 2015, and the filmmakers actually do their due diligence, and they say, hey, we know these animals had feathers. We've got a whole new batch of, like, newly bred raptors for this film. You can't have the excuse that, like, oh, they're just raptors from the old island, and so that's why they're scaly. It's like, no, it's supposed to be a whole new batch of dinosaurs. Why not give them feathers? Why not give audiences what they deserve? Why not be honest with people like that, you know? Why not treat the dinosaurs respectfully by trying to make them look like they actually did, you know? This would have been so wonderful. And, yeah, but they didn't do that. They didn't do that. And now in Jurassic World Dominion, it's very much too little too late. Too poorly executed. But yeah. Tarquin says, I've described feathered raptors as something like ground-dwelling hawks to friends before. We'll put our music back on. That's actually a pretty great description. It really is. Think it helped them get used to the idea of feathers? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Og the Enigma says, add $1 to the CGI budget for every feather. I mean, shoot, think how much better the movie would have been, though, you know? And if they had just gotten rid of the, like, fake made-up dinosaur and not had all that CG, focused on real dinosaurs. Yeah, and also, it is not like movie studios are incapable of rendering feathers well. What was that movie with the CG owls? It's a whole movie about owls. Had a really goofy name. But shoot, like, the year was 2015. It's not like doing CGI feathers is some unattainable goal. If anything, the really talented people who worked on Jurassic World, like all of those artists, they definitely could have pulled that off. And sure, maybe it would be a little bit more difficult than just rendering pebbly, scaly skin. But, I don't know, I've got some faith in the talented people who work there. The problem is not with them, the problem is with the people making decisions at the top. Frankly, with the director. And probably the studio execs. So, yeah. Hootie and the Blowfish, I think that's... it's a little different. Angel Silhouette. Guardians of Ga'Hoole. There you go, Milo Tickle. Yeah. Why do I know that? There were some jokes about that in a 30 Rock episode. They were kind of making fun of the name, I think. Yeah. And the Sonic the Hedgehog movie did better feathers, says Lit Gamer. Interesting. I never saw that. Yeah. And Trek Nerd says, I've done modeling and rendering as a job. It's not hard. There you go, Trek Nerd. Thank you. So yeah, shoot. We could have had this. We could have had this, everybody. Holy cow. So the Jurassic World series got off on the wrong foot. And I didn't finish the second movie. I got like 5 minutes into it. The third movie I just saw today, is not recovered. In fact, they try to recover in a few places, like with the Pyroraptor and stuff, but it's... Yeah. Yeah. Disappointing. And holy cow, Hugin, yeah, Monsters, Inc. came out way before Jurassic World. That was like 2001 or 2002, right? That was great, yeah. And Jenna Strand, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. And Chalky McHugh, I did play Dinosaur Fossil Hunter. I did indeed. We had like several days of that. I think maybe a whole week, Dinosaur Fossil Hunter. The studio behind that game, little independent studio, got in touch with me and sent me a free copy. Or a free Steam key. So it's great. Dinosaur Fossil Hunter is a lot of fun. I appreciate what they were trying to do there. They made a pretty cool game. But yeah. And Cooking with Lordy says we got to get Danny a heart rate monitor for these discussions. There you go, Lordy. I have a blood pressure monitor back in my office, but I didn't bring it with me on the trip. How you doing, Lordy? It's great to see you, by the way. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah. Welcome back, Lordy. And Sam Neill is in the Owl movie, too. Is he really Desmodus? Is he one of the owls? Or is he a human character in the movie? I assume he can't fly if he's a human character, but I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. An angel silhouette, yes, prehistoric planet. We've been talking a lot about that angel silhouette. Is incredible. Again, if anybody just waltzed in, prehistoric planet is extraordinary, and you can watch it for free using information from that link. So yeah. And there are no humans in that movie. Okay, Christie's Artnook, cool. Definitely defend that Owl movie. I haven't seen it. I've only heard people make fun of the name, but I haven't seen it. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and Angel Silhouette, no. We've watched all of the Dinosauria episodes as they've come out. Shoot, except for the latest one. We haven't seen that yet. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow if I stream tomorrow. Yeah, that could be really cool. That could be really cool. But yeah. Anyway. And Jurassic World movies make money? Yeah, sea films. Think how much more money they would make, though. You know, if the dinosaurs were better. I don't know. I think part of the reason why it's made so much money, too, is just that there's not a whole lot of great movies out right now. And movies are just kind of starting to come back. With COVID, like seeing movies in the theater, I think. So yeah. I don't know. This is the first movie I've seen in the theater in 6 months, easily. So yeah. Yeah. And Jorge says, Danny, could you talk about dinosaurs in Chile? Like I said, maybe I missed a stream if you ever talked about it. I did. We talked about Stegauros, the new Thyreophorian dinosaur. New armored dinosaur from Chile, right when it came out. We could talk about that for a second. Yeah. It's really cool. Stegauros. I think I spelled that wrong. This critter. Right here. Yeah. Beautiful new little armored dinosaur from Chile. Very, very cool. And its tail looks a lot like I think an Aztec weapon. Check that out.
With 6-inch daggers for teeth.
Who is that? Thank you for following whoever that was. Sorry, I've only got one monitor. I can't really see what's going on while we're looking at this. But, what a cool critter. What a cool critter. Stegauros. And not super big. It's not a huge animal by any stretch. Yeah, from late Cretaceous Dorotea Formation of southern Chile. Yeah, not a big critter. But where's the original paper? Yeah. But this is from when Chile used to be much further south. It used to be Antarctic in its latitude. So, yeah. But back then, climate was a little warmer than it is today. So, yeah, shoot, where is the published? Getting the latest preprint version. Where's the PDF? I think this is probably closed. No, wait, it might be open access. No, it's not. It's closed. But if you want to read about this critter, there's the actual paper. There we go. There you are. And you can read about it on Wikipedia, too. Really, really cool animal. Pretty exciting stuff. So anyway, yeah. Pose reminds you of a gecko. Yeah, it is kind of gecko-like in that sense. Shadowwind art. Welcome back, by the way, Shadowwind. Good to see you here. And the Makohiro, I think it might be that, Jody Fish. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Jorge, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. So yeah. And here, let's take a look at that. Makohiro. There we go. That weapon right there. Used by Aztec warriors. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So the tail of this critter bears kind of a resemblance to that. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. And there we go. There's the art that's actually associated with the publication. Awful blurry right there. But yeah, neat stuff. Very neat stuff. It warms my heart to see more dinosaurs come out of Chile like that. I know Argentina gets most of the attention when it comes to dinosaurs, but Chile has got dinosaurs too, and they've got some very cool ones. So I think that's pretty neat. Yeah. And a wattle. Oh, really? It's pronounced waddle. Okay, Rahabalam. Macahuatl. There you go. Cool stuff. Yeah. And Chilesaurus too. Yeah, Jorge. Chilesaurus, also from Chile. Really cool critter. And Trappy says, your eyes look so blue today. They do? I don't have blue eyes. What? I don't know. My eyes are green. It shouldn't look blue. It must be the camera. Maybe playing off the blue shirt. But yeah. But I'll take that as a compliment there, Trappy. How you doing? Welcome back, Trappy Jenkins. Yeah. And we do have a lot of cool international people in here, Jody Fish. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, anywho. What else are we going to do today? I'm trying to think if there are any other thoughts that I had about Jurassic World Dominion and all of that. Oh, shoot, we were going to finish this video. I forgot. Let's do that real quick. I knew we were missing something. Pause our tunes abruptly here. There we go.
A velociraptor fossil from the Gobi Desert, closely related to birds in the dinosaur family tree. That group includes many of the dinosaurs featured in the Jurassic Park movies.
Gallimimus.
These guys probably had feathers of some sort for insulation or decoration. And that includes the raptors. Jurassic Park 3 sort of nodded to the new research by giving them a little bit of a hairdo, but their feathers probably looked more like this.
Yep.
A velociraptor fossil from the Gobi Desert revealed bumps on the forearm.
Quill knobs,
similar to the wing attachments on modern birds. That means the raptors had wings.
Oh, that's a terrible illustration. That's not great.
There's no direct evidence, but a few years ago, scientists found a 30-foot dinosaur with some feathers, the biggest yet so far. Eutyrannus is thought to be closely related to T-Rex, so it's possible that the most famous and feared dinosaur might have been sort of fluffy.
And that's how it's depicted in Prehistoric Planet. It's got some sparse feathers on it.
But while most of the specimens are theropods, there have been a few interesting findings from way over on the other side of the family tree. These two have bristles of some sort, which may or may not be related to bird feathers. And this one, found last year, has even more complex feather-like filaments.
Lindodromeus. Very cool.
These fossils may indicate that feather precursors date back to some of the dinosaurs' earliest common ancestors.
Yep.
Jurassic World could have introduced feathered dinosaurs to a huge audience this year.
And they should have! Holy cow, they should have. Man, that would make my job easier as a dinosaur paleontologist. Oh my goodness, they could have made the world legitimately a better place. Just with something like that. Just showing people feathered dromaeosaurs. I guess they finally did in Jurassic World Dominion, but it kind of felt like it fell flat, you know?
But it didn't.
Yeah.
According to Jack Horner, a paleontologist that worked on all 4 films, the decision was made for the sake of consistency.
Yeah.
But you have to assume that they also just went
I've
up
spoken
the
to
task
Jack
of
about this
making
before.
Feathers into something scary.
I don't think he was happy about that decision. Anyway, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other dinosaurs that were featured in Jurassic World Dominion. Let's talk a little bit about the Giganotosaurus, like Rahabalam was talking about. And let's talk about Dreadnoughtus as well, speaking of dinosaurs that appeared in both Jurassic World Dominion and Prehistoric Planet. So yeah. And MacGyver says, don't worry, Danny, consider it part of my job security. Oh, there you go, MacGyver. Well, shoot. No, it's not job security. It's more like, I don't know. I spent a lot of time working on that when it'd be great to discuss some other things, you know? But yeah, I don't know. But yeah. And Tarquin says that's the problem Jurassic World Evolution has, right? Unlike Prehistoric Kingdom, it's going for the movie look instead of the current science. Exactly. It's like a big millstone around the neck of that game, just weighing it down, drowning it. Yeah, although I have heard, I think Litton Gamer was talking about some modifications you can make to the game to actually have some authentic looking dinosaurs. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. But Rahabalam, you're exactly right. Held back by the IP it's tied to. I talk about that in my Prehistoric Kingdom review. Reviews, Prehistoric Kingdom. There we go. There we go. I did a whole YouTube review of that game right when it came out, and yeah. Look how young I was there. Just a couple months ago. Before Jurassic World Dominion aged me by 10 years in the course of 3 hours. But yeah. Anyway, these aren't dinosaurs, but they don't claim that they're dinosaurs in the game either. Anyway, here's a link to, here's some wonky stuff in the game. But here you go. And holy cow, it's got 4,000 views on this video. That's pretty impressive, actually. That's by far the most views I think I have on any of my videos on YouTube. Yeah. Song brings you back to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Is that right, Mayor Space? Reminds me of Pulp Fiction. Yeah. But yeah, and Tarquin, yeah, Zoo Tycoon, their dinosaurs were kind of hit or miss too. Or kind of hit or miss, but yeah, I don't know. They didn't have the same disadvantage that the Jurassic World games have. So yeah. Anywho. Yeah. And Jenna Strand says, I have a question I want to ask about some of the dinosaurs in the movie, but since I was late, I don't want you to have to repeat stuff. Size of the Giganotosaurus, the Therizinosaur, and the Rex were good or completely wrong? No, they were pretty good. Yeah, Therizinosaurus is a big dinosaur. Let's take a look. Let's see. I actually did a stream from a museum in Blanding, Utah, where they've got a big life-size, fleshed-out model of a Therizinosaurus, and that was really impressive. It's a big animal. It really is. I mean, check that out. It's a big critter. So, like, significantly taller than T-Rex or Giganotosaurus. Yeah. And this probably isn't even the biggest one. I mean, it's probably a cinch that these animals got even bigger. Maybe not too much bigger, but I doubt we found the largest Therizinosaurus that ever lived, you know? It's a big critter. It's a big critter. So yeah, that part, the scale was pretty good. I don't know, the dinosaurs that weren't properly scaled. Well, let's look at Giganotosaurus real quick. It's also a very big meat-eating dinosaur. Well, Therizinosaurus is a plant eater, but like T-Rex, Giganotosaurus is also a very large meat-eating dinosaur. Slightly bigger than T-Rex, but I think lighter in weight. I don't think it's as massive as T-Rex, if I remember correctly. But it's definitely a big critter. And that's pretty nice. That's the actual material that we have from this critter. Forelimbs, hind limbs, and skull. At Montana State University, we actually had a skull of a Giganotosaurus, a cast of a Giganotosaurus skull in the front office of the Earth Sciences Department, which is pretty cool, in Traphagen Hall. And see, there is a really decent-looking Giganotosaurus. Holy cow. Way better than in Jurassic World. Way, way better. Holy cow. Why didn't they hire R.J. Palmer to design it? Shoot, he does incredible work, and this is just some of it. That's pretty great. So yeah, there's Giganotosaurus compared to T-Rex. They're almost the same size, you know? Giganotosaurus is just a little bit longer, probably not as bulky. So T-Rex probably still weighed more. Here, estimated mass, 6,800 kilos, and 8,400 kilos for T-Rex. So yeah, I was right. And who is this? Cyan Streams. Balint. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. It is wonderful to have you here. Really appreciate that. Balint and maybe Lita too, if Lita was there. How was your stream? I hope it was wonderful. Happy Saturday to you. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for bringing everybody here. If anybody happens to be new, let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist, and this afternoon I survived the harrowing experience of watching Jurassic World Dominion. Was not looking forward to it. I had low expectations. They were set in about the right place. Not a great movie, and its depiction of dinosaurs was very hit or miss. Dinosaurs and other critters too. We haven't even talked about their Dimetrodon yet or anything. But anyway, yeah. By the way, if anybody was tuned in before this raid, and you don't yet know about Cyan Streams, holy cow, is it your lucky day. Balint and Lita, who run Cyan Streams, they are a husband and wife scientist couple. They stream science on Twitch like 8 or 9 days a week. I don't even know how they do it. It's crazy. They are extremely prolific in terms of streaming, and they do all kinds of wonderful science outreach. So just like, you know, I'm a publishing scientist who talks about science here on Twitch, they do as well, and they'd be more than happy to answer your questions about, well, shoot, genetics, epigenetics, the behavior of social insects like bees and ants, hence the name Cyan Streams, and just current issues in science. They are one of the best follows that you could possibly do here on Twitch. So do not hesitate. Go follow them right now. Some of the best science communicators around. Will and Leda. Check them out at Science Streams. So yeah. Let me catch up to chat here. I think we probably we did have some big messages. Let's see here. Sending you a size comparison of the movie models in your email. Oh, thanks, Paley Nerd. Let me check that out. Yeah. Oh, and cool. Path of Titans. Neat, Linton Gamer. I've heard things about that. Usually pretty good. Yeah. And Angel Silhouette says, was Carcharodontosaurus iguidensis is bigger than... I mean, we don't know. I think we only have a few bits and pieces of Carcharodontosaurus. They might even be the same animal. I mean, shoot, they're from around the same time, I think. From a time also when Africa and South America were still... Either they were still joined together or they just recently split. So I would not be shocked if Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus turn out to be the same genus or even same species. Yeah, I forget. I think it's Carcharodontosaurus iguidensis is the holotype. I think that's the type species. And then Carcharodontosaurus maricanus. It's known from like a brain case and a few other pieces, I think. Maybe it's a skull. I forget. It's confusing. Both species of a Carcharodontosaurus are, we don't know as much about them as I would like, you know? Yeah. How's your trip been, says Science Streams? It's been, we've been rolling with the punches, I'll say that. My mobile live stream encoder is on the fritz. They need to send me new modems for it because they expired. So I'm waiting on that. And, yeah. So we're doing a stream from the hotel today. I was supposed to do some museum streams this weekend, but without the mobile encoder, we can't do that, obviously. So I went to go see the new Jurassic World movie, and we're discussing it here in my hotel room in Idaho right now. That's why this looks different from my office, because obviously this is not my office. But yeah, but trip has been good. Anyway, and Dacum says, love your shirt. Thanks, Dacum. I designed this one. Yeah, I used to sell these back in Montana ages ago when I lived there. Yeah, this is not one of the ones that I printed myself. Honestly, my print jobs are better than this. The arms are way too spindly. They flooded the screen with too much ink. Got rid of some of the detail, but yeah. Anyway, Jurassic World Delirium. I like that, Paleo Nerd. Yeah. Jurassic World Don't Watch. I mean, if you love movies that are mostly about giant locusts and human clones and stuff, and then there's also some dinosaurs thrown in, you might really enjoy it. I don't know. But yeah. When you see the Dimetrodon in the light and see it move, it looks adorable. Oh no, Litton Gamer, I thought it looked terrible in the movie. Its head was completely wrong. Dimetrodon has such a distinctive skull. Let me show everybody. Let's see. Image. Dimetrodon. How much of these are going to be Jurassic World ones? A bunch. Ugh. But here we go. Dimetrodon. That's a pretty decent depiction of it right there. Yeah. So Dimetrodon's got a very distinctive skull. It's got this cool notch right there between the maxilla and the premaxilla, which you can see right there. See that notch at the front of the mouth? And it's got crazy varying teeth. The name Dimetrodon means 2 measures of teeth, because it's got a lot of dental variation. In Jurassic World Dominion, it doesn't have that. They basically give it like a T-Rex head. like a Jurassic Park style T-Rex head. It's just completely wrong, and I was not happy about this. Just really bad. And then they live in a cave, or like in an amber mine in this movie, and kind of stumbling around in the dark. I don't know, if you're an animal that has an enormous sail on your back, you're probably not going to be super comfortable living inside a cave with like all sorts of narrow passageways and stuff like that. In the same way that, like, I don't know, you probably wouldn't take a sailboat into a cave. It's just not a good idea. So yeah, that didn't make any sense. So many things in this movie just made zero sense. But there's a decent Dimetrodon right there. Yeah. Yeah. Anywho. Yeah. And Angel Silhouette says the pics I saw of the Dimetrodon were just a T-Rex head shoved on a Dimetrodon. That's basically what it was in the film, it seems like. Yeah. And it is a lot like a baryonyx notch in the mouth, Jody Fish, yeah. Call that a subrostral notch or a subrostral indent. And it does look really lizardy, Tarquin. That's the thing about Dimetrodon, is that if you want to do it right, you should make it super lizardy. Dimetrodon is an animal that's actually much more closely related to us than it is to reptiles. This is like a synapsid, so it's related to mammals. You can kind of see that in some of these depictions. Let's see if we can find one with whiskers or something. Oof, there it is in Jurassic World Dominion. It was terrible in that. It was really, really bad. And I think somebody might be complaining about it here. Maybe not. But anyway, this is basically like a weirdo proto-mammal. And it would have been nice if they'd like kind of shown that instead of just making it look like a generic reptile here. Yeah. Dimetrodon whiskers, let's search. And we'll find a more kind of mammalian-looking Dimetrodon. That's an interesting depiction of it there. I like that. It's a little off the wall, but it makes an important point. This one also looking kind of mammal-y. I like that too. Yeah. Here's one for Pride Month. Eyes are way too big, though. Still looks better than the one in Jurassic World. Yeah. Oh, and that is beautiful. Holy cow. Look at that, everybody. That is exquisite. That's a Dimetrodon I can get behind. Holy moly, I like that a lot. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. The really frustrating thing about the Jurassic World Dimetrodon is that it looks so much worse than previous Jurassic, IP Dimetrodon. Like, let's see. Car Dimetrodon. I had this toy when I was a kid. This is a much better Dimetrodon depiction than in Jurassic World Dominion, especially in the trading card there. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's cool. And they kind of have the notch there, which they don't really show in Jurassic World Dominion. So yeah. Yeah, anyway. It's frustrating that, like, back in 1993, their depiction of Dimetrodon was better than in 2022. Ugh. Truly embarrassing. Truly embarrassing. Yeah. Commodore 256, welcome to Paleontologizing. How are you doing? They say, are emus dinosaurs nobody respects? They are dinosaurs, but shoot, I respect emus. And if we have any Australian chatters here, I mean, as venerable as it may be, the Australian military once did lose a war to the majestic emu, so yeah. Kanara, thank you for the follow? Thanks, Kanara. I don't know what's up with our alerts today. They're not working properly, but yeah. Yeah. We filled in gaps in its DNA with frog T-Rex DNA. There you go. Oh, no. Yeah. And One-Eyed Willie hid his sailboat in a cave somehow. Yeah, that was like a galleon, Mayor Space. That probably took a lot of practice, or a lot of planning rather. But yeah, and the scutes, exactly, Golganek. Yeah, right on, Golganek. And Athena Cat says, but it's just a fictional movie. It's for fun. Well, Athena Cat, yes and no. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, how Jurassic Park kind of shows that you can do both. You can have a truly entertaining movie, a modern classic, Jurassic Park, that also actually has good depictions of dinosaurs for the time, you know? Jurassic Park was a boon to dinosaur paleontology back in 1993 in that it showed the general public dinosaurs that were fairly up to date and fairly accurate. These weren't big, scaly, plodding, you know, reptilian, cold-blooded monsters like you'd seen in other dinosaur movies earlier than that. The dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were fast-moving, intelligent, social, bird-like. It was pretty excellent, especially for 1993. Jurassic World is taking a step backwards. Their dinosaurs are, I don't know, overall, for the 3 Jurassic World movies, it seems like their dinosaurs are significantly worse than the ones from the original Jurassic Park in 1993. So taking a step back, not helping to improve the public perception of dinosaurs. And as a scientist, as somebody who studies these animals and who talks about them, you know, 5 days a week here on Twitch, as somebody who has devoted a big part of his life to trying to educate the public about the creatures that I study. That's my passion, you know. This is what I do. This is what wakes me up in the morning, you know? It would be wonderful if the Jurassic World series was more of an ally in that, you know? If they actually strove to have semi-decent dinosaurs. And they haven't. They've dropped the ball. The whole thing has just felt like a cash grab from the start. And also the movies suffer in their entertainment value because of that too. Everything just feels kind of slapdash and lazy and not thought out properly. And I like to think that those movies, even if you're just thinking about it in monetary terms, I think they would have made more money. I think they would have made audiences happier. They would have been more popular if they'd actually had good, up-to-date dinosaurs. You look at something like Prehistoric Planet that has truly excellent dinosaurs. And that invokes a sense of wonder that the Jurassic World movies just don't. Their dinosaurs, for the most part, are boring, uninspiring. They feel very paint by numbers, you know? These movies would have been better and would have made more money if they'd actually made them scientifically accurate. Because here's the thing about dinosaurs. The thing that makes dinosaurs appealing, the reason why people flock to dinosaurs and appreciate them and love them, is because dinosaurs are real. There's an authenticity there that you don't get with other movie monsters or creatures that are made up. Dinosaurs have a real authenticity to them that makes them really special. And the more authentic you can make your dinosaurs, the more compelling they will be, and the better your project will be, the better your movie will be. That's my view as a dinosaur paleontologist. And you can agree or disagree, but I feel very passionately about this, and that's my take. And I think I've got, you know, I think I've got some stuff to back that up. So yeah. Anyway. And also, audiences deserve better dinosaurs. You deserve better dinosaurs. Holy cow. And it's about time that studio executives and directors started to realize that, you know? You deserve better dinosaurs. Shout it from the rooftops. And Commodore 256, yes, I would say the first Jurassic Park is the best. Just as a film, but also in, like, for what it's worth, you know, all other things being equal, for the time, the first Jurassic Park film was extraordinary in its depiction of dinosaurs. It was pretty excellent. So yeah. Yeah. And hey, Kirov, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. The Jurassic World Dominion Dimetrodon looks worse than the Dino Riders toy. Does it, Paleo Nerd? Let's take a look. Let's see. Dino Riders Dimetrodon. Yeah, I would say so. At least you've got that kind of downward curve to the snout, like we see in, say, Dimetrodon Grandis. That's pretty embarrassing that this is better than the Jurassic World Dimetrodon, which again looks like that. Oh boy. Really, really bad. Oh, it's the worst. Oh, it is the worst. So yeah, I don't know. Where did it go wrong? It's not difficult to get these things right. There are small independent teams that get these things right every day. They have beautifully rendered, really excellent depictions of dinosaurs and other critters like Dimetrodon, who's not a dinosaur. It can't be incompetence on the part of Hollywood. It's got to just be poor creative decisions from the top. The studio execs and the directors just making bad calls. Yeah. And Sharana Pony, how are you doing? Welcome. We did, I think so far back in chat that I don't even remember what you're talking about, Sharani Pony, but welcome, Sharon I Pony. It's great to have you here. Yeah. Yeah. And let's see. The games do the animals much better. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Linton Gamer. Maybe we'll take a look, but I gotta catch up to chat. Where are they getting their dinosaur inspiration from? Kanara? I don't even know. Yeah. And Jorge says, I love Jurassic Park, but Dominion was not only bad in the depiction of dinosaurs, but bad in the filmmaking aspect. Yeah! Thank you, Jorge. I agree. I don't know. I'm not a professional film critic. I'm not a filmmaker, so, like, take this for what it's worth. I was mostly going to talk about the depiction of dinosaurs and other critters in this stream, but also I just thought it was a bad movie. Like, the plot was all over the place. The characters' motivations didn't really seem to make a lot of sense, especially the pilot. The film didn't seem to really understand its own message, like, with the way that it treated, these dinosaurs that are just out in the world doing their thing. Should we protect them? Should we round them up? Should we get rid of them? Like, it felt really muddled like that. And also just the dialogue was really bad. The action was really just shaky cam all over the place. Everything was hard to follow. Everything just felt slapped together and thoughtless, It felt like a cheap, quick cash grab is what it felt like. And just like banking on nostalgia more than anything else. It wasn't great. It really wasn't great. Just like pop culture slop, This is not... There are many, many talented people who worked on this film. I'm sure, like, the actual production... The production staff, I'm sure, very, very talented, very hardworking. The actors themselves, for the most part, pretty great, doing the best they could with very poor material. It was the writing, and to a certain extent the cinematography, also just lousy, but especially the writing. It was a bad movie. It wasn't good. It was not good. It's a bad film. I wish it weren't. I wish it were much better, but I'd be lying to you if I told you I thought it was a good movie or even a decent movie. I thought it was really bad. And if I had been watching it, streaming it at home, I probably would have turned it off right at the beginning, you know? But instead, I'm here talking to you about it because I think this is part of my duty as a scientist and a science communicator. If this is what they're serving us in terms of depictions of dinosaurs and stuff, it's really important to keep my finger on the pulse, on the pulse of dinosaur depictions in pop culture, and this is the biggest thing out there. The Jurassic Park and Jurassic World franchises, there's nothing that has a bigger cultural impact than this, so I have to see it, and we gotta talk about it. It's the elephant in the room. Although in this case, they're like, no, elephants. We like that elephants are big and noisy, but that trunk is really weird. We're just gonna take that off. Like, no trunks on our elephants. Just like we don't have feathers on our dromaeosaurs, or stuff like that. I don't know. We're gonna talk about the poorly rendered, bad design of an elephant in the room. And thank you, Lettuce McGrims. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Good to have you here. Yeah. Yeah. And Commodore 256, holy cow, you're speaking my language. Jack Horner is my old boss. I worked for him when I was at Museum of the Rockies, doing field work, and to a certain extent working in the lab, too. But yeah. Commodore, we talk about Jack Horner all the time. Crack eggs, glue is cheap. 100% agree with that. We've got yeah. Commodore, you are 100% in the right place. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Yeah. Yeah. Now you want better dinosaurs, Kanara? Good. You deserve better dinosaurs. And Ulrich's Gaming says, remember that quote from the director where the Giganotosaurus is the Joker of the franchise? Because it's got all that crazy stuff on its back, like a jester hat? What do you mean, Ulrich's Gaming? I'm not sure I understand. Yeah. And Pfizer, we do deserve better movies all the way around. Agreed. Yeah. And Birds Are Dead On says Jurassic Park to me was an idea to make dinosaurs, then greed, science limitation. Yeah, I mean. And Commodore, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Great to have you here. Yeah. And Jorge says Dominion broke my Jurassic Park fan heart. Me and my brothers were baffled. It was so bad, right? Sorry. I'm sorry. It's good to have you here, Jorge. We can commiserate together. Yeah. Anyway, trying to make my way down through chat. I'm way late. I gotta catch up. Yeah. And let's see. And Raul Martin's concept art for Dimetrodon, Paleo Nerd. Let's take a look at that. Oh, and this actually shows up properly. That's cool. Thank you, Golganek. I really appreciate that. That's a lovely Dimetrodon right there. Yeah. Raul Martin's very talented. Yeah. Yeah. And Mayor Space makes an interesting point. He says if Richard Attenborough had lived long enough, they would have shoehorned him into Jurassic World 2. No. While at the same time his brother was doing Prehistoric Planet. Yeah. Yep. And Angel Silhouette says, which is better, Jurassic World Dominion or Guanji? Oh, definitely the Valley of Guanji. Again, from 1969, that's a long time ago. Their dinosaurs are pretty decent for that time, I guess. And what a charming little movie, The Valley of Guanji. I like it a lot. Yeah. And did they have J.J. Abrams lens flares? I think they did, Jody Fish. I remember being very distracted by a lot of the stuff going on there. Yeah. And Jenna Strand. Yeah, watch Jurassic Park 3 again? I think Jurassic Park 3 gets a bad rap. It's an interesting movie in a lot of ways. Yeah. And Jorge says, Colin Trevorrow, the director, said that the sequences like Malta, awful, were the most fun because they could break the Jurassic Park filmmaking rules and tone. That's what Jurassic Park 3 did, but at least was a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more daring about it. The whole Malta thing just felt incredibly confused and weird, and I don't know, I didn't enjoy it. Mikey Lexus, don't hold back, Danny. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah. And Liam, how are you doing? Happy Father's Day. How you doing, Liam? Welcome to Paleontologizing. It's not quite Father's Day here in the States. That's tomorrow, but yeah. And Jurassic Next. Guanji, yeah, Guanji does have a very sad ending. That's true. I've never actually seen Dinosaurus all the way through. I need to watch that. Yeah. And Peter Steve says, do you think they made the dinosaurs accurate and then someone higher up is like, change it? Maybe, Peter Steves? I don't know. I kind of get the sense that they were wrong to start with, though, from the beginning. And Liam says, are cephalopods a weird anomaly of the animal kingdom? No, cephalopods are... I wouldn't call them an anomaly. They're really cool and special and interesting, but I wouldn't say that cephalopods are anomalous. No. Yeah. Galara Dragon, thank you for being here. You're probably already fixing dinner right now. Thanks for being here. Trying to catch up to chat. And Corgi Girl says maybe more realistic dinosaurs would have been too distracting. I don't buy that, you know? That's the thing, is that, like... The first Jurassic Park film certainly didn't feel that way. They could have made their dinosaurs like people would expect. You know, sluggish and slow and reptilian and dumb.
I imagine the mammals would still be small creatures like this.
Athena Cat, thanks for that follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, Athena Cat. Yeah, I don't know. The first Jurassic Park film, if it had been super conservative and by the numbers, could have been like, oh yeah, we'll make our dinosaurs like in Dinosaurus or in, I don't know, 1 million years BC or something. And they didn't. They actually gave people authentic dinosaurs, for the most part, for the time. And it was a huge hit because of that. So, yeah. I don't know. So, yeah. Jurassic World Dominion. There you go, Layton Gamer. Yeah. Lego Jurassic Park show on Netflix. I don't know, Peter Steves. Huh. And Liam says, other than the dinosaurs we know that flew, were there a lot of flying dinosaurs? Just birds, Liam. Just birds. Birds are the only flying dinosaurs. If you're thinking about pterosaurs, like, let's see, like Quetzalcoatlus, truly awesome critter, which also appeared in Jurassic World Dominion. These guys are not dinosaurs. Pterosaurs, or pterodactyls, as they're often called, are, yeah, not dinosaurs. They're kind of like cousins to the dinosaurs, but they are not dinosaurs themselves. There's one next to a giraffe, just to give you an idea of scale. Another one would be Pteranodon. There we go. Yeah, there's the one from Jurassic Park 3. These guys are, not dinosaurs. Pterosaurs are not dinosaurs. Just to make that clear for everybody. Yeah. Let me get rid of these tabs before I crash Chrome. Too many tabs. So yeah. And Huygens says both Dimetrodon and Dimorphodon have unique features to their heads, but the Jurassic World producers were like, what if we made the mini T-Rex? Exactly. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, and Jorge says, you said you lived in Montana. What is it like? I would like to visit Montana. Montana is very cool, Jorge. Montana is, it's almost like two different states. In the western part of the state, over here, you've got lots of mountains, lots of pine trees. It's very forested, got cool wildlife. The eastern part of Montana is mostly prairie. Wide open space, grassland. Yeah. So most people visit the western part of Montana. And that's where most Montanans live, in the western part of the state. The the eastern part over there, it's very sparsely populated. But yeah, it's wonderful if you ever get a chance to visit. Visit Yellowstone National Park. Visit the American Prairie Reserve up here in the middle part of the state. I used to work there digging up dinosaurs for APR, along with Denver Fowler, and that was wonderful. See bison and pronghorn and white-tailed deer and all kinds of other cool critters. Lots and lots and lots of elk. Yeah, Montana's pretty cool. And if you like dinosaurs, then there are a number of pretty cool dinosaur museums in Montana, especially Museum of the Rockies, where I used to work. Yeah. Shadowwind Art says, what about Archaeopteryx? Yeah, Archaeopteryx is a bird. Let's see. Here we go. There's our lovely Archaeopteryx there. Wait for this to load. There we go. Beautiful Archaeopteryx depiction here. Check that out. By Vlad Konstantin, looks like. Konstantinov, rather. Yeah. Birds, as we now know, evolved from dinosaurs. Archaeopteryx is kind of in that transition, I guess, seems to be. Going from a ground-running dinosaur to a flying bird. You can see that right here. Still got claws on its wings. Sickle toe claw, like in Velociraptor. Teeth in its jaws. Long bony tail. It's, yeah, a dinosaur that's becoming a bird, I guess. Sort of. There's still a lot we don't know about Archaeopteryx, and how it's related to the earliest birds. But yeah. And Liam says, oh, are pterosaurs... Oh, pterosaurs they're very close to dinosaurs, but they're not dinosaurs. They're like dinosaurs' cousins, basically. They're not related to bats. Bats are mammals. So yeah. And if it weren't for the bears, you wouldn't mind living in Montana. Did you have bad run-ins with bears in Montana, Angel Silhouette? Shoot. Yeah. And western Montana is Hell Creek confirmed. No, Hell Creek's in eastern Montana, Litton Gamer. What? Yeah. But pterosaurs were not bald. No, we know that they had these little filaments on their bodies. Let me show you. Called pycnofibers, which might actually be feathers. We're not 100% sure. We know that these guys had these filaments on their bodies. They look kind of like hair. But we don't know, is this something that's special and unique to pterosaurs? There's Dimorphodon right there, I think. Yeah, beautiful Mark Whitten Dimorphodon painting. We know these guys had some kind of filamentous coating on their bodies, but we don't know if that's the same thing as feathers or not. We're not 100% sure. It could be that feathers actually go back to before the first dinosaurs. So all dinosaurs ancestrally would have been feathered. And maybe pterosaurs too. Let's see if I can find you a... Let's see. There we go. Yeah, lovely. This is from a new paper that just came out a little while ago. So these authors from this paper were claiming that those are indeed feathers. That pterosaurs had primitive hair-like feathers on their bodies. Not like big flight feathers like birds have. Not like... Just basically like very simple hair-like feathers. Kind of like on a kiwi bird. So that might actually go back to like the base of the Ornithodira family tree. So yeah. Yeah, we're not totally sure. But feathers that would have looked kind of like a kiwi. Very simple, almost hair-like feathers. See how those almost look like fur or something? But they're feathers. Pterosaur feathers, if they were feathers, were probably even more simple than this. Just long strands. These have some branches coming off. Yeah. pterosaurs, it seems like their feathers, if those are indeed feathers, not something different, they're just long and hair-like things. But yeah. See no fibers, hear no fibers, pick no fibers. Come to airspace. Yeah. 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 And, Jorge, muchas gracias por su viewing. Lo siento, no sé. Como siempre, un agrado. Little Spanish for you in the chat. Muchas gracias, Jorge. Y hace un buen día. Thank you for being here, Jorge. You have a great rest of your day. Yeah. And Claire Burr. Oh, is macaroon granola bar? I'm sorry, Claire Burr. You can just block them if you want to. We banned them a while ago because they were just being really obnoxious in chat. But yeah, and Liam says, I mentioned kiwi birds a while ago. It's fascination. And yeah, Liam, kiwi birds they're birds. So they are modern dinosaurs. All birds are modern dinosaurs. That includes kiwis, which I think is pretty neat. But yeah. And Liam says, would you say raptors are closest to chickens? No, Liam. Let's talk about that for a second. Here. There we go. Just a minute here. Open that in a new tab. There we are. Here we go. So, this is a little infographic that I put together before last Thanksgiving. Your turkey is a dinosaur. Turkey, because in the United States, turkey is associated with Thanksgiving. Lots of people eat turkey. Like, Thanksgiving dinner in the United States is basically like a holiday where you dissect a turkey on the table. And you get to see the bones. I put this infographic together to show you the similarities between dinosaur skeletons and bird skeletons. So here we've got a velociraptor right here, and a turkey, Meleagris gallopavo. Forget the idea that dinosaurs are closest to chickens or closest to turkeys or something like that. That's not how it works. Dinosaurs, there's one tiny little branch of the dinosaur family tree that evolved into birds. And so all birds seem to have evolved from a single dinosaur species. As far as we can tell, that's how it worked. Is that there was one little dinosaur lineage that all birds evolved from. They all radiated forth from a single ancestral species. So yeah. The reason people say, oh, T-Rex is most closely related to a chicken or to a turkey, it's because those are birds that people are familiar with. It's a nice little shorthand. But whether you're talking about a turkey, or a hummingbird, or an ostrich, or a penguin, or a cormorant, you know, all those birds are the same distance away from their dinosaur ancestors because they all stem from the same species, if that makes sense. Sometimes there are modern birds like ostriches or emus or cassowaries that get compared to dinosaurs, and it's easy to make that comparison because like Velociraptor, these are flightless creatures. They don't fly, they walk on two legs, so they bear like a really superficial resemblance to dinosaurs, non-avian dinosaurs, but yeah. Anyway, in this diagram, talk all about these different features that modern birds have. Things like their unique wrist structure, the way that their ankles hinge like that, the structure of their pelvis and their S-shaped neck, and even their wishbone. Those aren't just bird features. Those are features that originally evolved in dinosaurs, and this whole infographic talks about that. So feel free to download it, print it out, share it with your friends and family or whoever. Yeah. I was pretty proud of this. It was a lot of fun to put together, and I hope it'll be useful for you. Talking about the link between dinosaurs and birds, and how birds are just weird modified dinosaurs. Yeah. So yeah. And raptors are closest to all birds. We think so. If you're talking about dromaeosaurs, Angel Silhouette, then they seem to be the closest. Critters like Archaeopteryx are basically just like, this little guy right here, often called the first bird. Archaeopteryx is basically like a little mini winged velociraptor. They're even, like I was talking about with LJ yesterday, there are some paleontologists who think that Velociraptor might be a bird. That maybe Velociraptor had ancestors that could fly, in which case Velociraptor would be a bird. It would be like birds split off from the rest of the dinosaur family tree and start doing their own thing, and then Velociraptor and its relatives split off from those ancestral birds, which would mean that they are birds. I think that's pretty interesting. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't yet tell. We don't have good enough fossils from, say, the mid or early Jurassic period of bird-like dinosaurs to know how exactly that split happened. It's still kind of a mystery. We need more fossils to be able to, put together this puzzle properly. But yeah. Yeah. And you're shorthanding for dromaeosaurs. I know, Angel Silhouette, yeah. Thank you. And where was the beak evolution, Liam? I mean, it happened later. Yeah. We've got other birds like, Ibermesornis, I think? Iberomesornis. Yeah. This is a pretty cool little Cretaceous bird. There we go. That still had claws on its wings, but it's already started to develop a beak. Like that. And beaks are easy to evolve. Beaks actually evolve a bunch of times in Dinosauria. The earliest dinosaurs, like Eoraptor and Herrerasaurus, they didn't have beaks. But beaks evolve independently in a bunch of different dinosaur lineages. Beaks evolve in theropods multiple times, in Oviraptorosaurs, in Ornithomimosaurs, in Therizinosaurs. Beaks evolve also in Stegosaurs and Ankylosaurs. They evolve in, let's see, who else? In marginocephalians, like ceratopsids. Yeah, beaks are super easy to evolve, and lots of different dinosaurs do that. So, it's not surprising that birds ended up doing that, too. A beak could be a really useful thing. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. And yeah, that includes hummingbirds, Athena Cat. Yep, hummingbirds are the smallest dinosaurs that ever lived, as far as we know. Yeah. Yeah. And Mikey Like says there's a mod for Jurassic World Evolution 2 for feathered dinosaurs. I agree with you, they should have had them there in the first place, but it's cool that they're putting them in there. That's neat. And Liam says, I learned so much coming here. I love it. It's great to have you here, Liam. Thank you for the good questions. Yeah. And Huriko-sa, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Good to have you here. Yeah. And John Doe Norris says, are beaks an example of adaptive radiation? Birds would be an example of adaptive radiation, where you've got like one species that radiates out, they like speciates, and you just get, yeah. Beaks would be more of an example of convergent evolution, where you get different groups of dinosaurs that kind of independently evolve beaks. So let's just take a look at some examples. Dinosaurs like Leptoceratops is a ceratopsian dinosaur with a cool beak. And then you've got Erlikosaurus is also developing a beak. This is a completely other side of the dinosaur family tree. It's a beaky dinosaur with feathers. Oh shoot, ornithopods also develop beaks too. Yeah. Hypsilophodon. So beaks independently evolve in like at least probably between 6 and 10 different dinosaur lineages. It's a pretty Flamboyant looking Hypsilophodon. Here's a more conservative looking one right here too. Yeah. And who was that who just followed? Oh no, Pezzy, thank you for the 4 months. I really appreciate that, Pezzy. Thank you for the ongoing support. It means a whole lot to me. Thanks for helping me do what I do, you know? Going out on a big trip like this is not cheap, and I would not be able to do it without the generous support of good people like you, Pezzy, so thank you. Yeah. So yeah. And beaks and color or monochromatic night vision are pretty easy to evolve as opposed to other things like flippers and flukes. There you go, Angel Silhouette. Yeah. And Jurassic X says, so it's all down to the pygostyle. There are dinosaurs that have pygostyles too, non-avian dinosaurs, like Nomingia. Nomingia, here we go. Let me show you. There we go. So, a pygostyle by itself does not a bird make. Here is an Oviraptorosaur. One of these, like Oviraptor. And it's got this super truncated tail with a pygostyle at the end. Probably supported kind of a fan-like display structure of feathers at the end of the tail. Pretty cool. Yeah, check that out. All those fused vertebrae at the end of the tail. Yeah, pygostyle. Not just for birds. Also, bird relative is like Oviraptorosaurs. Cool stuff. Yeah. Anyway, and hey, Bilbus, how are you doing? Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, sounds like a nice little meal or snack there. And they have a feathered Tyrannosaurus in the game. Cool, Alrex Gaming. That's neat. It's about time. Yeah. But yeah, and Liam says it's crazy. If you show a slide of a dinosaur, it looks like A to Z, maybe beak to beak, but the reality is millions of years in between. Yeah, shoot. Here's something that might interest you, Liam. Let me show you. Let's see. Here we go. Maybe you've seen this before, this image of these two dinosaurs facing off against each other. Shoot, come on. Give me a large image, please. Come on. There we go. Google Images is so annoying with this kind of thing. It's like, just give me a full-scale one, please. There we go. This is at Disneyland, actually. Their Primeval World diorama. But there is a Stegosaurus and a Tyrannosaurus here, menacing each other, you know, getting ready to fight. This never happened. People think, oh, dinosaurs, they lived during the age of dinosaurs, and, you know, dinosaurs, big dinosaur potpourri. No, the age of dinosaurs is super, super long. Like, depending on how you count it, between 150 and 180 million years. Here's an example of that. Tyrannosaurus and Stegosaurus did not live together. Stegosaurus lives about halfway through the age of dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus lives at the very end of the age of dinosaurs. There is more time separating these two critters than there is separating us from T-Rex. We are closer in time to T-Rex than T-Rex is to Stegosaurus. Pretty cool, right? It's kind of a cliche at this point. Like, this little factoid gets shared a lot with, like, science communication people, but it's true. Stegosaurus lived, I think it went extinct probably around 145 million years ago. T-Rex first evolved around 68 million years ago. So, shoot, somebody do the math there. What's 145 minus 68? But that's more time than there is separating T-Rex from us. I think it's about 80 million years, something like that. Which is interesting to think about, right? The age of dinosaurs was so long. And in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, the Earth itself is 4.54 billion years old. And the last of the non-bird dinosaurs only went extinct 66 million years ago. And dinosaurs first evolved about 240 million years ago, something like that. So yeah, in the grand scheme of things, the age of dinosaurs is not actually that long ago, if you think about the entire history of planet Earth. So yeah. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. And Athena the Cat says, may I ask, is it just dinosaur fossils you work with? I've dug up a few other things over the years, but it's mostly been dinosaurs. And I've only ever published on dinosaurs, too. So yeah. There you go, Athena. Great question, by the way. Thank you. There's lots of other critters that I'm also interested in, especially things like plesiosaurs and animals like that. It's long-necked, flippered, aquatic reptiles that lived alongside the dinosaurs at the same time. But I've never had an opportunity to work on them or especially publish on them. Not yet. Yeah. Oh, and interesting, Peter Steves goes over dinosaurs in Star Trek. Comparison to real-life dinosaurs. The first link I saw had a picture of Dimetrodon. Oh no! Dimetrodon, not a dinosaur. Yeah. But yeah. It was a time-traveling T-Rex, as Angel Silhouette. I guess so. Yeah. Eugen says it's more accurate to depict a T-Rex on a unicycle than fighting a Stegosaurus. There you go, Eugen. I like to say, keeping with the Disneyland theme, that it would be more accurate to have the T-Rex menacing Abraham Lincoln in the Hall of Presidents, or Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, than fighting a Stegosaurus. It's closer in time to Abe Lincoln than a Stegosaurus, so yeah. Yeah. And isn't it strange how time seems compressed the more you look back? Kind of, Bilbus, yeah. And that's also the way that rocks work in a certain certain way of thinking too. Yeah. And Paleo Nerd, you thought the Fantasia T-Rex was an Allosaurus? Well, it does have 3 fingers, so I don't blame you, Paleo Nerd. I probably thought the same thing when I was a kid. Yeah. And Liam, the fingernail analogy. We're at the tip of a fingernail? Exactly, Liam. Exactly. Yeah. And John Doe says, it seems really unlikely the Earth's atmosphere would not have had a big clue that... I'm not sure what you mean, Jono. Yeah. And you like short-necked plesiosaurs like Liopleurodon? Those are very cool, Angel Silhouette. They're very cool. And they're only around for a little while. Like, they go extinct, I think, at the beginning of the Cretaceous or something? Yeah. And who knows why? I mean, shoot. And Athena the Cat says, just asking because my father and I found what we think are fossils encased in stone. We have no idea what it is. Oh, interesting, Athena. Cool. If you want to put some photos in the Discord, I'd be happy to take a look. And shoot, you know what? I take that back. Just the other day, I was out prospecting with LJ, and we were looking at some ammonoids, collecting those. So I have dug up creatures that aren't dinosaurs. And I've dug up some fossil fishes in the past, too. Some bits and pieces of crocodiles and lizards and stuff like that. But dinosaurs are the only thing that I actually study or publish on. So, yeah. And Linton Gamer... if you repost it, I'll see if we can get to it. Yeah. And there you go, Mayor's Space. And I don't know who that is, Angel Silhouette. Colin Flores? Not sure who that is. Yeah. Anyway, everybody. Yeah. Oh, before I forget. Just keep accumulating tabs here. Let's get rid of these. Another dinosaur that we were going to discuss. One of these ones that appears in both Jurassic World Dominion and in Prehistoric Planet. It's this critter, Dreadnoughtus. And they like spot it from the plane window in Jurassic World Dominion. And they just kind of say its name, but it's a very well, shoot. You know, this is an animal that... I kind of hate that it's, like, in a swamp in this. Not that those dinosaurs wouldn't have done that whenever they felt like it, but just this idea of swamp-bound dinosaurs is so old, and we don't need to be putting that in movies. It's just, it's not great. This again reminds me of the, you know what this reminds me of? Shoot. It reminds me of the, Primeval World Brontosaurus.
The ponderous Trachodon, 32 feet long and 14 feet high.
These guys, also from the display at Disneyland, in the Primeval World diorama. Just like, you know, hanging out there, just lazily standing in fetid water and munching on some water plants. Not great that this is in 2022. We basically have this same exact thing going on. Compare that to the depiction of Dreadnoughtus from Prehistoric Planet. Let me pull that up for you real quick. A much more dynamic, much more interesting depiction of the same animal. There we go. Here we go. Let's pause that and pull this up. There we go. And that's annoying. Yeah, watermark. Ugh, irritating. But here we go. Here is Dreadnoughtus in Prehistoric Planet. Endlessly more interesting, more majestic, more thought-provoking. And, like, the whole inflatable neck sack thing is... it's speculative. It's a little bit off the wall, but it really makes sense given these animals' biology. Just a zillion times more interesting than the animal's depiction in Jurassic World Dominion. A million times more interesting. Again, it kind of makes me wonder if the people who made Prehistoric Planet knew that this was going to appear in Jurassic World Dominion, and they're like, yeah, let's give people an actual good representation of this animal that actually inspires awe. Yeah. I don't know. It's a distinct possibility that that's what happened. Because holy cow, let's think about it for a second. We'll try and tally up the different dinosaurs that make an appearance in both Jurassic World Dominion and Prehistoric Planet. In fact, maybe I can... Let's see here. Where would be a good place to do this? There we go. Let's just tally them up. And dismiss. So, who do we have? Velociraptor, first of all.
Gifted Kiro_099 a subscription. Matt M33 gifted a tier 1 sub.
Thank you, Matt M33. Really appreciate that.
They have given 37 gift subs in the channel.
Velociraptor, Tyrannosaurus, Dreadnoughtus. I think I spelled that wrong. There we go. Yeah, there's no O at the end. Dreadnoughtus, Carnotaurus. Quetzalcoatlus is not a dinosaur, so put an asterisk by that one. Who else we got? Anybody else in chat? Help me think of some dinosaurs that appeared both in Jurassic World Dominion and in Prehistoric Planet. And, yeah, we'll I guess this is kind of lending credence to the idea. If there's a whole bunch, which there seems to be, then yeah, lends credence to the idea they were trying to throw some shade. And Dinokairos, no, that wasn't in Therizinosaurus. Thank you. Therizinosaurus. Quetzalcoatlus, yeah, Christie's Heart Nook, I got that one. That's right here. Quetzalcoatlus. Did they have a Troceraptor? I think they did. From the Horseshoe Canyon Formation. And there had to have been some others, too. I'm trying to think of other dinosaurs there. There was no Parasaurolophus, because it's too early for Prehistoric Planet. This is all Maastrichtian, end of the Cretaceous stuff they had in that. Who else? Pyroraptor. I don't think they had Pyroraptor in Prehistoric Planet, Hugin, did they? Triceratops, thank you, Paleonerd. Yeah, Triceratops. Let's see, who else? Mosasaur, there you go, yeah. Mosasaur, asterisk. We've got at least 9 so far. Oh, man. Yeah. And some of these were just kind of thrown in there, like Therizinosaurus almost felt a little bit shoehorned in to Prehistoric Planet. Yeah. Interesting stuff. It's like half the dinosaurs and other critters that appear in Jurassic World Dominion were also in Prehistoric Planet. So yeah. And they had Pyroraptor too. Are you sure, Litton Gamer? Pyroraptor in Prehistoric Planet? And yeah, there was no Ankylosaurus in Prehistoric Planet, Darth Goof. There were some Ankylosaurs, but not Ankylosaurus itself. Not that particular genus. So yeah. And Christie's Art Nook says, resend, I hope the people that watched Jurassic World Dominion don't think the dinosaurs in Prehistoric Planet are wrong. That's the thing, is that even as wonderful as Prehistoric Planet was, and as popular as it's been, it doesn't have nearly the cultural reach that Jurassic World Dominion has, unfortunately. So many more people are going to see Jurassic World Dominion than Prehistoric Planet. And that's why it's important to talk about these things. As a dinosaur paleontologist, as somebody who studies these critters and publishes on them and digs them up and talks to people about them, it's important to discuss this because so many people's perception of dinosaurs comes straight from the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World franchises. So, you know, I gotta know what they're serving out to people so that I can be a better science communicator, you know? Does that make sense? So yeah. Mosquitoes, there you go, Paleo Nerdy Hats. And yeah. And Jedi Jingle Maker, hey, how are you doing? Greetings from Idaho. I'm in Idaho right now on this big road trip. Hope things are going well for you down there in Florida. Yeah. And Prehistoric Planet is a documentary, but it's a speculative documentary. It's not like a wildlife documentary where they just went out with cameras and photographed stuff. It's fictionalized, you know? Yeah. So yeah, you'd expect people to understand dinosaurs are more accurate in a documentary than in a movie? I'd hope so, Jenna Strand. I hope so. But not everybody's as clever as you or I, unfortunately. I don't know. And Goganex's Prehistoric Planet has got to be an answer to Jurassic World. Too many coincidences, including time of release. I think there's something there, Golganek. I think there's something there. Yeah. And Liam says, my dinosaur lore came from films of men fighting lizards. I know exactly the films you're talking about, Liam. Yeah. It's nice that we've got more examples nowadays. I don't know. At least Jurassic World Dominion was better than that, than 1 million BC. Yeah. But yeah. And Jurassic Gaming says most of us know the dinosaurs from those franchises aren't accurate. Well, yeah, but not everybody. So I'm not necessarily talking about like hardcore fans of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World or anything like that. I'm talking about your average person on the street. You know, your grandmother who's taken her grandchildren to go see it. You know, just your average person. They probably don't think too hard about these things. They don't really care much about dinosaurs. And so, I don't know, just kind of through osmosis, through just absorbing what's there on the screen, that's affecting their perception of dinosaurs, you know? That's giving them their picture of what dinosaurs should look like, you know? That's why I so wish that the filmmakers had been more responsible in the Jurassic World series and actually given people good dinosaurs, you know? Because, shoot, I'm a paleontologist. I don't care one whit about, like, oh, let's gotta keep things consistent with the series and gotta make sure that the intellectual property, you know, we're staying canon for that. I don't care about that stuff. Shoot, it doesn't matter the tiniest little bit to me. What I care about is dinosaurs and showing people good dinosaurs. You know, authentic dinosaurs. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes dinosaurs compelling. Is that they're not movie monsters, they're not fictional creatures, they're not mythical beasts, they're real animals. And I dig up and study and publish on and talk about. And I think anybody who depicts dinosaurs in a movie like that, especially one with the cultural reach of something like Jurassic World, they have a duty to actually show people good dinosaurs, accurate dinosaurs, authentic dinosaurs. And when they don't do that, it's a disservice, and it makes my job more difficult as a paleontologist, you know? So that's my perspective. That's where I'm coming from here. But yeah. Yeah, and there you go, Raz VRC. I agree with you there. That is a problem with... A big problem with Jurassic World, and to a certain extent Jurassic Park, too. Hyper-violent creatures. Yep. Looking at these animals as monsters rather than as animals. I would agree. Yeah. Anyway. With that being said, I think it's about time to wrap things up here. I've got to get some other stuff together for some future streams. And I also need to do some catching up on the literature, too. I saw some new stuff published, and make sure I stay informed about that. I plan on doing another live stream tomorrow afternoon at the same time, in the same place. We'll be talking about some of the latest fossil news, new publications in dinosaur science, and we'll also watch the new episode of the Dinosauria, too. The newest and latest and final episode of the Dinosauria on YouTube. We will watch that live on stream. I'm super excited for it. Speaking about authentic, worthwhile dinosaurs, they've got it there. Anyway, everybody, and Knife Clan, why did the flying dinosaurs... Yeah, the Dimorphodon, because they got it wrong, Knife Clan, that's why. And whoever just followed, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Let's see who else is live on Twitch right now, and we will pay them a raid. And thank you, John Doe, for the 4 months of support. Really appreciate you, John Doe Norris. Thank you. Thank you, John Doe, for your ongoing support. Could not do this without you, and without good people like you. So thank you very, very much. Who else is on right now? Let's go ahead and... Let's see. Dr. WD40 is streaming. Okay, I don't know if he's doing much science stuff right now.
Here's something stranger than science fiction.
And thank you for the follow, whoever that was. Really appreciate it. Oh, shoot, PaleoStream is on right now. Well, let's go say hello to PaleoStream. Oh, wait, no, hang on. We're not going to go yet. We're really close to a hype train. And Knife Clan, there are certainly some dinosaurs that are modern dinosaurs. That's, I don't know, you could see them as a representation of pride for sure. Think about those penguins. But anyway, let's hang out for just a second, and we'll see if we get a hype train here. Because if we manage to get a level 5 hype train, then I'll play everybody some ukulele songs. Yeah. Some songs about science, some songs about dinosaurs. But thank you, Knife Clan, for the 200 bits. I really appreciate that, Knife Clan. Gwen KN, thank you for the follow. Welcome, Gwen. And thank you, John Doe, for the 4 months of support.
And gratitude. Thank you very much to the 100 bits.
Thank you, Mikey Likes, for those bits. Really appreciate that. And Claire Burr.
500 bits goes a long way towards
Claire Burr.
Here on
That is too generous of you, Claire. Seriously. Thank you.
And gratitude.
Holy
thank
cow.
You very much to the 100 bits.
Athena the Cat. Athena Cat, thank you for those bits. That's lovely. And Knife Clan. Holy cow. That is wonderful. And Invisible Dimensions, 11 months of support from you. Invisible, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. I'm doing my best to be safe as I'm out driving across the country. Thanks for helping me afford stuff like gas, and I might have to get the windshield replaced on my car because it took a big old rock right there in the windshield yesterday as I was driving here. Thanks for helping support me and helping me pay for stuff like that. That's wonderful. Yeah. And Knife Clan, thank you for the gift sub there to Jedi Jingle Maker. Lovely. Thank you, Knife Clan. Really appreciate that. Holy cow. We are now 50% of the way to a level 2 hype train. Excellent. And Sofair says, where's your trip taking you? Well, Sofair, right now, over the next couple weeks, I am headed east out to... I'm going to go all the way out to Illinois, maybe even further. And then after that, heading back west. And I'm going to be doing some field work, actually digging up some dinosaurs down in Utah toward the end of July. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to try and stream it. So yeah. And thank you, Knife Clan, for that gift sub. Really appreciate that. That is lovely. Thank you, Knife Clan. Holy cow. Don't forget to say hello to the humidity. It's real. There you go. Yes, Jono. The what? The huh? The what? I didn't catch that. Can you say it again? Bubsy646. 14 months. Holy moly. That is wonderful, Bubsy. The what? The what? Bubsy, 14 months is a long time. Thank you for your ongoing support. Really appreciate it. I like this when people save the re-notification thing for the hype train too. Yeah. And let's see. And dinosaur slippers, shoot. Size 10? And holy cow. Justino. 17 months. That's extraordinary, Justino. Thank you for that ongoing support. That's a very long time.
Let's protect our farms, because if they're removed,
holy cow.
we have to lose us forever.
And hang on, who was that? Somebody just followed, I think. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. Or did somebody redeem a gift sub and turn it into a recurring sub? Jody Fish, was that you? Jody Fish, thank you for that. Really appreciate your ongoing support. It means a lot to me. You know it does, but I still like to say it anyway. Thank you, Jody Fish. Holy moly. Lovely. We're 52% of the way to a level 3 hype train now. And that was you? Thank you, Jody Fish. You know I appreciate you. Yeah. And let's see. Thank you for being here, Bilbus. You have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time it is where you are. Yeah. Guess what movie you're gonna see tonight, Justino? Are you gonna see... It's Jurassic World Dominion, isn't it? Justino, I hope you have fun with it. Don't let it depress you. Holy cow. And Ambersine, thank you for the 5 months of support. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Ambersine. That's lovely. It really is. Fantastic. And look at all those chickens.
1,000 bits can make a wonderful difference.
Claire Burr.
In the appreciation and understanding of fossil science here on Twitch.
Thank you so much, Claire. I really appreciate
Lots
that.
of love, Danny.
Claire, you are amazing. I don't deserve you, Claire. Holy cow. I hope you're not spending too much, Claire. Thank you for the 2,000 bits. Holy cow. Completed a level 3. We're now 65% of the way to a level 4. We might even get to a level 5 this stream. And get some ukulele songs. We will have to see. Yeah. And Hugin... And I agree with you, yeah. Tyrannosaurus... Why does every theropod have to be compared to T-Rex? I guess it's because Tyrannosaurus is the best known of all theropods. All non-avian theropods, I should say. But it does get pretty old, Hugin. You're right. You're right. And, how many new dinosaurs a year do we discover, Liam? A lot. What is this? Oh.
I wasted $5 on these.
Oh, well, thank you for spending $5 here. Really appreciate that. Who was that? Pontius Pirate. Thank you, Pontius. I appreciate you. And Knife Clan, thank you for those 200 bits. Really appreciate it. And Beth14 fan, thank you for those 100 bits. That's wonderful. It really is. Thank you. Holy cow. Liam want to know how many new dinosaurs a year do we discover? It's tough to say because there's a long time between discovery and publication. But for the past like 2 or 3 years, it's been on average like 40 or 50 new dinosaurs every year have been published, which is a lot. Not all of those are valid, but still, 40 or 50 new ones every year, valid or not, is a lot. And thank you, Golganek, for gifting Knife Clan there. Well deserved, richly deserved. Thank you so much, Golganek. Really appreciate that. And Knife Clan, thank you for your generosity. Enjoy those emotes. Enjoy not having to watch the ads. That's lovely. We are cruising up to a level 5 here. That's wonderful. I've got the uke right back there. So it is, it's ready if we get to a level 5. If you want to hear some songs. Yeah.
Third, it may not seem like much.
Knife Clan.
Goes a long way towards supporting science. I'll tweet here on Twitch.
Thank you, Knife Clan. I really, really appreciate that. That is wonderful. 500 bits is a big deal, so thank you for that. It does go a long way. Yeah. One more pass, says Clareberry. Yep. Yeah. And Jody Fish, did your mom swap your syrup to... I don't know what you mean, Jody Fish, huh? Oh, ukuleles. No, I still have mine. With the ichthyosaur on it. So let's see. We're creeping up there. We'll see if we get to a level 5. But there's the uke right there. So we'll have to see if we get there. Yeah. And Justino, I am streaming from Eastern Idaho right now, from a hotel in Eastern Idaho, on my way out to Wyoming in a few days. If I discovered a new dinosaur tomorrow, what would I call it? It depends what it is, Liam. Different dinosaurs take different names. Yeah, shoot, I don't know. So yeah. Shoot. I'd have to think about that. I might name it after Twitch chat, though. Yeah. Twitch Chatosaurus that's too generic sounding, but something. And is that subscriptions? It is, John Doe. Yeah, those are subscriptions there. The sub goal. Or sub points, rather. So like a tier 3 counts for 3 points. Yeah. And let's see. Genus waiting on the paper eye. Yes, Golganek. There you go. Yeah. Dino genus Twitch Chatorum. Yeah, name it Tradoon. Go Kirov. Oh no. Yeah. Garrulous support us. I like that sign, right? I like that a lot. Yeah. And we got 2 minutes. We'll see if we can get there. To a level 5 hype train. You vote Tradoon, Claire Burr? Oh no. Yeah. Should be able to get it up to 180. That'd be awesome. Yeah, shoot. Thank you. A Beth14 fan for the 190 bits.
Wonderful difference in promoting the appreciation.
Thank you,
and
Beth.
Understanding of fossil science.
And holy cow, Pezzy, 1,000 bits. Thank you very, very much for that. Really appreciate it. Holy cow.
Protect our fossils, because if they're removed,
Kirov,
America loses them forever.
thank you for that gift sub. I appreciate that very much. And Golganak, thank you. Wonderful. And Golganek, thank you for that. Thank you, Kirov. And thank you, Anonymous Gifter, for that gift sub too. We made it. We are at a level 5 hype trade now. Thank you, everybody. Exquisite. That is brilliant. Thank you so much. I echo what Claire has to say here. Thank you all so much for your wonderful support and generosity. And hang on. Thank you, Anonymous Gifter. You, again, are as generous as you are mysterious, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Lovely. Yeah. And Beth14 fan, glad you got a gift sub. Enjoy those emotes. They're a ton of fun. You can use the ukulele emotes as I play ukulele here. Let's get out the old uke right now. And I should probably retune it, because it's been in the car with temperature fluctuations in the car, and that can definitely affect the tuning. Yeah, things are flat. There we go. Excellent. All right, everybody. Let's pause our tunes. There we go. And then let's play some songs right here. Why don't we start off with the Dinosaur March? That's always a wonderful place to start. It's a nice warm-up song. This is a classic. My students loved this song back when I was teaching full-time, doing early childhood education. I think you'll like it too. See if you can pick out the parts that I may have modified to make a little bit more true to life paleontologically. All right, Dinosaur March goes like this. Many, many years ago, before the people came, the animals upon the earth, they did not look the same. They lived for 170 million years, but now they are no more, except for birds. They were the dinosaurs. Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, Stegosaurus, Allosaurus, Ankylosaurus, and Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's the first verse in the chorus.
The dinosaurs had not died, perhaps.
Thank you for the follow, whoever you are. Brill 666 Marie, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Here comes the second verse. I wrote this one completely by myself. We can learn about these awesome beasts by studying their bones. Skeletons under the ground that partly turn to stone. We dig them up and we clean them, and we raise them off the floor to build a dinosaur. Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, Stegosaurus, Allosaurus, Ankylosaurus, and Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus Rex. There we go. That's the dinosaur march. And why don't we do I'm a Paleontologist, and then we'll wrap things up with the Galaxy song. How does that sound, everybody? I'm a Paleontologist. Or we could do Jolene for our final one. There you go, Paleo Nerd. I think that's a great idea, actually. We'll do Jolene for the final one. Yeah, but I'm a Paleontologist by the band They Might Be Giants goes like this. I love digging in the dirt with just a pick and brush. Finding fossils is my aim, and so I'm never in a rush, because the treasures that I seek, they're rare and ancient things, like Velociraptor's jaws or Archaeopteryx's wings, and all the kids who wanna see them, they're lining up at our museum. I am a paleontologist. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. I am a paleontologist. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. Could it be an herbivore? Trappy Jenkins, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, Trappy Jenkins. Thank you so much for the support. Could it be an herbivore, crushing plants with rounded teeth, or a ferocious carnivore who moves so quickly on its feet? It's like pieces of a puzzle. Well, hello there, Alpha Matt. Holy cow. What a cool new sound. Thank you, Alpha Matt, for the raid. Welcome to Paleontologizing, everybody. You caught us right toward the end of our stream here, but welcome, welcome. If anybody's new, my name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. Today we've been talking about the new Jurassic World Dominion movie, which I just saw a few hours ago. Not my favorite, but we've had a wonderful stream, and we got a level 5 hype train just a minute or two ago. So I've been playing some ukulele songs as a thank you to everybody who contributed. And yeah, shoot. Let's continue. We were doing I'm a Paleontologist. Let's do the second verse here. Could it be an herbivore, crushing plants with rounded teeth, or a ferocious carnivore who moves so quickly on its feet? It's like pieces of a puzzle, but I'd love to try and solve. So much fun to think about how a species has evolved, and all the kids who wanna see them, they're lining up at our museum. I am a paleontologist. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. I am a paleontologist. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. There you go. And then, you know what? I think we'll actually finish up with the Galaxy song. I'm trying to be conscientious to any neighbors that I might have in the hotel right now. Try not to be too loud, which is why the songs might sound a little bit different right now. And Jolene gets kind of loud. I think we'll do the Galaxy song instead, and maybe we'll do Jolene tomorrow if we get another hype train like that. So the Galaxy song, it's not explicitly about paleontology, but it is kind of about, I don't know, the vastness of the universe and the deepness of time. And it's a great song to play for anybody who might be feeling kind of down in the dumps. If any of you watching right now, maybe you didn't have the greatest day today, maybe you need a bit of a pick-me-up, or just some encouragement or change of perspective, then I will sing to you, just remember that we're standing on a planet that's evolving, revolving at 900 miles an hour. It's orbiting at 90 miles a second, so it's reckoned, a sun that is the source of all our power. Now the sun and you and me and all the stars that we can see, they're moving at 1,000,000 miles a day. In an outer spiral arm 13,000 light years wide of the galaxy we call the Milky Way. Now, our galaxy itself contains 200 billion stars. It's 100,000 light years side to side. It bulges in the middle, 13,000 light years thick, but out by us it's just 3,000 light years wide. Now, we're 30,000 light years from galactic central point. We go around every 200 million years. And a galaxy is only one of millions of billions in our amazing and expanding universe. Whoa, 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 itself keeps on expanding and expanding, and all of the directions it can whiz, as fast as it can go, the speed of light, 12 million miles a minute, and that's the fastest speed there is. So remember when you're feeling very small and insecure, how amazingly unlikely is your birth, and pray that there's intelligent life somewhere up in space, 'cause it's hard to find down here on Earth. There you go, everybody. Thank you again so much for an incredible stream. Yeah, thank you for that awesome level 5 hype train, hence the ukulele. And, yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. So let's do that. Is Paleo Stream still on? We will go continue over there. Let's go do that. Let's go check out Twitch's resident paleo artist. And, yeah. Everybody, thank you again for another fantastic stream. I know we're not in a museum right now. I wish we could be, but we're making the most of things, I'll be streaming again tomorrow, same time, same place, so catch me then. Till then, everybody, you take care of yourselves, and let's go check out what PaleoStream is doing. You don't want to miss this, everybody. PaleoStream, he's a German artist, credible paintings of extinct critters. And you can ask him all kinds of questions about dinosaurs and critters like that, too, just like you would me. And anyway, here we go. I will see everybody there. All right, bye-bye.